difficulties. We apologize.
Or the technical difficulties you're having us.
Yeah, this is this. I have no idea what happened. I don't know if it was my internet. I don't know what. I have no idea. I really don't, because I've never had it reconnect that much. I don't know if it's because it's the middle of the day and more people than me are just using the internet at the house. I have no idea. I have absolutely none. Honestly. So, yeah. We apologize for that. But yeah, Scoop, I think you're right overall. It's just a mess. The Hall of Fame stuff is just a mess.
Since you disappeared, we started talking about Pro Bowls.
Oh, the Pro Bowl stuff. Does it even matter? Do you guys even care?
Well, I was saying in the very beginning, you talked about us celebrating the Pro Bowl. I'm like, these votes, I ain't celebrating jack shit.
Well, I'm saying just celebrating the season.
Well,
that I'll agree with.
Like you know why we started in on the Pro Bowl when you left too is because obviously the Senior Bowl is like a celebration of the best college players and about the Pro Bowl and whatnot. Like what makes me like angry is why nowadays there's just fourth, fifth, sixth alternates. Like it's like
because they need to fill a squad, and if people say I don't want to come, if people are just like,
well, this is what it led me to. If all these guys are backing out already, they were backing out before it even switched to the Pro Bowl format that it is now, with just the games. If people are still backing out now, what I would do is get rid of the Pro Bowl and just do what college does and have a first, second, and I believe third team for every conference, and do first, second, third team All Pro, and that's it.
Well, why do we need the Pro Bowl if we're? That's the issue. Why do we need the Pro Bowl if we have all pros to do the thing for us? We don't need it.
We don't. The Pro Bowl does not need to exist.
Yeah, either or just instead of getting rid of the Pro Bowl, maybe I went a little too far. Instead of getting rid of the Pro Bowl, keep the Pro Bowl voting or whatever, but don't play the damn game. Keep it the way whatever the votes finalize as, and whoever makes it at the top.
But the NFL wants flag football. You don't want to watch flag football and the guys play dodgeball for a few hours?
If I want flag football, I'll go out and play it.
I'm not going to watch Shedeur Sanders throw a football. I watch that for 17 games a year, and he sucks. So who cares?
Scoop, is your TV making the sleepy noises again?
Yep.
Because I'm starting to get tired.
Here, I'll go turn it off.
Why does your TV have this thing where it's like where it makes me sleepy? What is wrong with that? Was it a TCL? What's going on here?
I do not know why it does that, but it does. Like they gotta do something. No, I'm tired of. I know the NFL wants it, but their viewership already sucks. That's why they already have it on a Tuesday.
Well, now that they have it on a Tuesday, they have more excuse to get rid of it because it's terrible.
Like it's like that's what I'm saying. Like just do away with it. And the thing is, it's a slap in the face that like not just like yesterday. Like we saw that as like a fifth alternate. I'm like, that's kind of a slap in the face to him.
What's up, Robert Duck and Oregon Duck?
That works.
True. Okay, why does your TV have this thing where it's like, let me make everybody fall asleep?
I'll explain it very quickly. So what happens is, at the end of the night, my mom and I watch Netflix. She falls asleep and goes to bed. I go to bed, but I go to bed before her, so I forget to turn the TV off. It does the thing after a few hours. It says, are you still watching Netflix? Nobody responds to it. It shuts off, but it doesn't shut off the whole TV. It only shuts off Netflix, goes back to the original screen, which does that.
That's hilarious.
That would annoy me so fast. I'm so glad that my TV...
We'll see. Here's the thing. It did at first for me, but because mine in Jackson does the same stuff, this doesn't even faze me anymore.
That's hilarious.
It's like white noise to me. Or purple noise, whatever the hell it is. The colors confuse me.
It's white noise. Yeah. Because that would be white noise. Yeah.
Anyways, Brandon and I were basically just saying how we wanted to be excited about the fact that Jalen Hurts was put to the Pro Bowl, but how can you be excited about a fifth alternate? Like, basically, if I was told, hey, you're the fifth alternate, I'm like, you might as well not have even invited me.
That's like being picked last in gym class growing up. It's like, okay, I guess we'll pick.
It's a participation trophy. It's a certificate that said, hey, you showed up.
Well, here's the other part about this that I don't like. It used to be in Hawaii. It used to be kind of fun for the players to go to Hawaii and have a good time and this, that, and the other. And now it's at the convention center? They're putting it at I think they're putting in the San Jose Convention Center that they're
that tastes like shit.
Like, it's crazy.
Dunkin' Donuts coffee not doing you good?
It's crazy.
I thought I muted myself.
These teams play in the cold when it gets to playoff time. They deserve to play it. They deserve to at least play it, not even just because they don't play the Pro Bowl game anymore, but the Pro Bowl games should be in a warm climate outdoors.
It's not in a convention center.
In Jackson, where I live.
Like, oh yeah, that might work.
That would work.
It's just like I don't like the way like the NFL does a lot of things. A lot of things need to change about this league.
You know what's crazy to me is that there's so many people who say so many things need to change about the NFL, yet it still makes like decidedly more money than any other league. It's just so funny to me how our best league still has this much to improve.
It is true. It is true.
But it also goes to show how much of the league is not run by individuals, like with tickets. It's run by TV money and revenue and all that other advertising bull drop.
Because the NFL product is better on TV than it is in the stadium. Just 100% honest. It's better.
Far better.
I've been to, I think, 4 NFL games. All respect to my family who made each one possible. I'm so grateful I got to go to those. But in terms of just the happiness of the experience and like the enjoyment of the experience, give me watching it on home on the TV most days. Like for example, I had no chance to go to either one of the Super Bowls Philly won, but even if I had, I'm so much of the belief that I would have been happier watching them two at home with my friends the way that I did and celebrating with them is like in like a small party than I would have going there and dealing with a drunk. Can you imagine dealing with a bunch of drunk Philly assholes after that type of a win? Oh my God. As a Philly asshole, I think I would have hated that.
You're not wrong. Like, I still love going to sporting events. Like,
oh God.
Like, it's just like, but it's like, but football is the one sport that's better to watch on TV. I would rather go.
I'll add this. I would say regular season baseball. I feel the same way. Playoff baseball. Let me flip that around. I meant to say playoff baseball. I feel the same way. Regular season baseball. It can go either way for me. Playoff baseball. You got to be there in person if you can.
Yeah,
it just stinks that like we talk about like it's so hard. Like I don't get how people, even if you save up all the money you can, I don't get how people go to these playoff games in these sports when these tickets are so out of everyone's price range.
Well, can I float this real quick? I'll take about 30 seconds for this.
Yeah,
I went to Yankees. It was either the Red Sox or the Rays in the ALDS like 8 years ago. My ticket for that game on the first base side, pretty good seats, less expensive than going to Eagles-Patriots Week 13 in the regular season for not great seats when the Patriots weren't that good.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it depends on when you get them. Like the cheapest seats in Yankee Stadium, and honestly, they're probably to me they're the best seats in Yankee Stadium is the bleacher creatures. So
I want to sit in section 203 so freaking badly.
Really anywhere among the bleachers, like bleacher creatures, all the way through to the other side on the other in left field. Like I've sat in the left field bleachers like 3 times, and I wasn't planning to. It was the cheapest ticket I could get. I'm like, you know what? I'll go.
Yeah.
it's the summer, but it's like it's a summer night game, so it won't be too hot. It'd be perfect out there.
Now I have summer night stuck in my head.
And literally going to the game, it being like, at night, it dropping to only like, 75, 80 degrees at night at Yankee Stadium with a slight breeze in the bleachers. So and the thing is, the bleachers, you get the full view of the game. You're not blocked by an overhang. You're not blocked by a foul pole. So like,
I'm 5'5". You put a tall ball guy in front of me, I'm blocked anyway.
but like, to me, the bleachers at Yankee Stadium is the perfect place because you see everything.
I agree.
Right in front of you.
I agree with that. Actually, you know who I sat there with one time? Our mutual friend Ola. Shout out to Ola. She was going to try and watch this show.
No, my whole thing is, for football, if I'm covering it and like they're in person doing coverage, that's way different than being a fan, because you get a lot more access and stuff. I mean, it's obvious, but it's important to mention. But
I've never gotten to go to a pro game in that space. I've gotten to go to college games, but not a pro game yet. Knock on wood.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, how do I say? I mean, with baseball, it's a little tough because I hate the 300 level at any stadium. I think 300 level is the worst.
Just don't sit there. Just don't sit there.
I
try not.
That was the second worst place I've ever sat for something. The worst was this. Have you ever gone to the Sphere in Vegas?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
If either of y'all are aquaphobic like I am, for the love of God, don't sit there. Oh my God.
It's like this, right?
No, it's like this.
Yeah.
Wait, what is acrophobic? Is that
fear of heights? Yep.
That's what it's called? What a weird name for that.
Not really. Acrobat.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for reference, Brandon, Scoop, myself, Robert, we had like a bunch of technical difficulties earlier. Just thought I'd reintroduce the crew here. I mean, 300 level just sucks at every like even T-Mobile Park, which is my favorite stadium by far here in Seattle. I hate the 300 level there. I hate it. I even hate the bleachers there because I feel like I'm gonna fall through the floor.
Oh, I sat in the 300s at Yankee Stadium. Well, not in 300s, grandstand. I saw the 400s. I sat in the 400s at Yankee Stadium back in I believe it was either 09 or 2010, and I went with my grandfather. And
09, that was a good year.
Yeah, and it was because I remember it was Yankees Angels. It was hot as hell. It was like early August. So it was like
that was my first Yankee game too.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah, it was something like that. And, but we were in the first row of the grandstands. When you got up, you felt you were gonna fall over. I was like, I'm not standing up.
I sat in the grandstand. I think it was the grandstands at CBP. I went to Phillies Red Sox when I was, I think, 9 or 10 because I was in Philly when I was doing one of my Eagles things. That's where I got my Jonathan Papelbon T-shirt, and I'm pretty sure my fear of heights partially was because of that game.
My fear of heights is in general because having cerebral palsy, you're just deathly afraid of heights no matter what you do. Just because your right leg feels like it's about to fall off every 5 seconds. Lol.
Oh man.
Yeah, one of my good friends, Jeff. Jeff has, CP, so it was crazy. Like we went to a wrestling event. We went to AEW over at the Rock not this past one in November, the November before, 2024. And when we went, he went with us, and we didn't know just how bad. We knew that like he has such a bad fear of heights that we were only about 10 rows up from the floor.
Yeah.
So like you can see us like on camera, like at the wrestling event, like we're there.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't go. Like he was with us there, but he wouldn't go.
Man.
He was so afraid. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, what are we gonna, like, we're all looking at each other, what are we gonna do? Because we don't want to lose Jeff or have Jeff go back up there and just walk the concourse for 4 hours.
Right.
So
what did y'all end up doing?
Like, I think he stayed, and he stayed up by the because right where we were sitting is the
excuse me.
What is it? It's the the main like eating area on the concourse, like in between those two glass walls, and so I think he just stayed up there and got food and drinks and kind of watched like through the TV monitor or whatever. So he's still kind of was with us, but it sucked because I'm like, I know how he feels to have a fear of heights, but I didn't think his fear of heights was that bad. Like I don't have a fear of heights to the point where I won't sit up high. But
you're lucky.
But I get like a vertigo feeling of where if I stand up and I'm like the first row and I can see over, I get like woozy a little bit.
The thing that actually freaks me out the most, and I think about this often when I'm at any Seattle sporting event and I'm up high, if there's an earthquake, I'm screwed. Because I'm immediately just gonna fall down. Like there's no safety in that.
I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Because here, like we're due for like a 9.0 at some point. Which
I don't know what the Richter scale is like. So I know that's bad. I just don't know how bad it is.
So we think it was the same as we do our scale for shows, except 10 is worse, 1 is okay.
No, I know, great. But my point is I don't know what the max is, so I don't know where 9 is with regard to the max.
The max is 10, and we're supposed to get a 9. But as Shane has explained, we are built for a 9. Like if we get a 9. There might be some small structural damage, but we're going to be fine.
Yeah, it's because of different parts of the country. Like what your natural disasters are more likely to be. Like for example, down in the Gulf, they're not prepared for blizzards like we are up here. We're not prepared for hurricanes and tornadoes like they are down there.
Yeah, exactly. So we're a lot more prepared, but I think the worst. Well, it's not necessarily. I don't even know. I have to look up what's the worst place or what's the worst or best place to be in an earthquake.
We've actually been getting those earthquakes lately over here. I didn't even realize that I didn't feel it, but apparently I looked it up. I was like, oh, New Jersey earthquake, like Richter scale, whatever it was. And I looked it up, and I'm like, oh, apparently yesterday, around like 3:30, 3:45, there was a 2.4, which isn't big. They're like, oh, you can feel a little bit of a shake, and I'm like, I felt nothing. I didn't even know we had an earthquake yesterday.
Dude, it was so funny. I was watching clips of the movie Draft Day the first time I saw it. Okay, and well, Scoop, and Draft Day has given me a scar for life because it has the Seahawks have the top pick.
No,
because of an earthquake. Nope, because of an earthquake.
Oh, okay, that's much more severe than I thought.
So there was a period. Do you guys remember? Like, okay, when did Paul George and Kawhi go to the Clippers? Was that
is so
20? Was that
that's so specific?
21 or 22, or was that
before? Around there? Yeah, like
20. It was like. I think it was 20 or 21. It was a year or two after the big three went to the Nets. Sorry, Brandon.
Yeah, thank you.
So wait, so it was 19,
you got to remember, I was a Nets fan too at the time. So
yeah, I know.
Wait, so it was 19 then because it was the same year Zion was a rookie. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so that was 19 then.
It was 19. So in 2019, there was a 2-week period in the summer where Vegas and Los Angeles would get like 3 earthquakes in the span of a week. Like it was, and they were nasty too. They were like 6.2, 7.0. It was disgusting. It was really scary. Yeah. Zion's first game at Summer League, everyone was all excited to watch him play. It got postponed due to an earthquake. The literal jumbotron almost fell on the court. It was shaking.
Holy crap!
It was ridiculous.
Wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go.
I was just gonna say, didn't y'all Hawks fans back when Lumen Field was whatever the hell it used to be? Didn't y'all Hawks fans but basically cause the same effect as an earthquake with how loud y'all were at a game once?
We did that. We did that last week too.
I swore I heard it happening in the past. Like I know it happened last week, but I swore it happened. I heard it happening another time.
Because they're known for that.
Because the biggest one that we caused was the Beastquake. The
freaking what?
Beastquake.
The Marshawn Lynch run.
Which one was that? Because I know it wasn't against the Patriots.
The one against the Saints where he broke like 8 tackles on the way to the end zone.
Okay, I'm sure I saw that. Again, my memory is bad.
No, that we caused like a nasty earthquake. Like even the NBC cameras were shaking.
I remember that.
I respect it. I respect it.
Yeah, it was nasty. And well, part of why we're so loud is because of the aerodynamics of the stadium that I'm not going to get into. But
you should do a segment on that one day.
We will. I have to do more research. It's crazy. It's wild. So no, I felt an earthquake here, which I'm like 20 minutes away driving distance from Seattle. I felt a very small shake during the Rashid Shaheed touchdown. It was very small, very subtle. But so the two major earthquake experiences that I had, obviously, I think our big one was 2002. I think I was just a baby. But the two biggest ones I experienced, I was watching like the Jags draft day clip in bed. It's like 4:30 in the morning because I'm a night owl. I've always been that way. So I'm sitting in bed, right? I'm sitting in bed. I'm totally fine. And then my bed just goes for like 10 seconds.
I'm pretty sure you just did the drum solo from In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins.
No, because guys, I've never been more scared. Like I realized in that moment that me being scared about shit is like completely wrong. Because like other shit in life, being nervous about it, nothing compares to an earthquake.
Oh, got it now. My bad. I was confused.
It is the scariest thing. And by the way, I felt it so violently. It was a 5.5. I'm scared to death of what a 9 will look like. Because oh my god, man!
It's funny you mentioned that. Remember, I told you about I think I called you and told you. Remember back in April, the spring 2024. Remember the earthquake I told you about that hit here?
Yeah.
No.
It was almost a 5 on the Richter scale.
Yeah.
My house shook for 30 seconds. Literally shook for about 30 seconds, and my china cabinet was almost going to fall over.
Jiminy Cricket.
And then the next time it happened was actually this year. It was a super small one. It was like, I'm watching, what week was it? I think it was week 16 or 17. There was football on TV. So I'm sitting watching the game, and all of a sudden my Christmas tree just starts violently shaking for like 2 to 3 seconds. And like one of the bulbs came out of it, and I was like, what is happening? And then I realized later, oh yeah, that was an earthquake. Because there's no way my Christmas tree would just randomly be violently shaking. The funny part is that I feel like I'm very hypersensitive to earthquakes, because in every instance that I have felt an earthquake, my parents are just like, what just happened? I felt nothing. And it's just either I'm up or it's so weird.
I will say, I think for things like CP, and I'm saying it from a sense of actually like having like some knowledge of them. I think for things like CP and SB, like I have, I think things like that actually affect your brain chemistry to where that actually is like a chemical thing where you become more sensitive to that.
I would assume so, because, well, for me, I know it's because of the tone in my leg. Because this is such a stupid thing, but this is something that happens.
There's no stupid things.
No. This is really dumb.
There are stupid questions.
See, the sentence I was going to say was "there's no stupid questions," but that was like he didn't ask a question. You still not.
Yeah.
So there's this thing where at physical therapy we do every 8 sessions we do like a reeval. So it's like, hey, let's see what we need to work on. You're doing good in this. You're doing good in this, whatever. You know how, like, at the doctors when they hit your knee to, see how... So, it's kind of
like the reflexes thing?
The reflexes thing. So, the reflexes thing, so they do something similar. I don't know what the specific is, but my right leg literally would start going for, like, a solid minute. And because my nerves are so, like, I can't reach it, like, my nerve endings, like, can't get there where I can control it, my leg will just go like this for like a solid minute, and I can't stop it. It will just move like an earthquake. It's insane.
Jeez.
It's crazy. The thing is, when I was a kid, that would happen all the time. Now it just rarely happens. It only happens when I get tested for like certain things.
I feel like people don't realize that. Like, even for me, right? Like, even though I don't have anything like that, but I was born premature. They say like, you know, premature babies have like a certain, like, when they grow up, you know, they look and function like normal adults, whatever they are. You know, I'm not saying that they were not, but it's weird that like they always say like premature kids and obviously they grow into adults, that whatever certain tick they pick up as a baby to either to calm them or whatever excites them or like loud noises that they don't like, that tick will stay with you the rest of your life. So like it's weird because it's like I picked up a habit of like doing like stuff like with my fingers like this, like,
yeah, this is why I have this, my JBL my JBL
like,
thing, and I just hold it during the show so I can fidget with something while we're doing the show, so I can stay focused.
It's weird though, like it's not so much like fidgeting, it's like I almost have to have something in between my fingers, like in between my thumb and my index, like not all the time, but like when I get like really nervous or when I get really or something, like when I get
like a stim,
pretty much like when I get just really like one way or another, like really excited about
overstimulated.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's like it's weird that like that just happens. Like I'll grab my hat, like if I'm wearing a hat during an Eagles game, I'll grab the bill of it and just like hold it like this, like for a little bit, just to, like like it's weird that it happens that way. But it's like for people that you know think like you know, oh, like that there's like, you know, we're talking about like you know, having a physical disability, whatever that might be, but it's like there's just like, you know, kind of ones where it's like it's not technically physical to be a premature baby, you were just born that way, but it kind of messes with your mental a little bit because you got to realize that just like how a physical disability is kind of like it's a what's the word I'm looking for, it's it's like a degenerative, it's like not degenerative. What's the term I'm looking for? Like it's like that might be a deformity, right? Or it might be like whatever it is, not deformity, but like degenerative thing. For a premature baby, you know, you're born early, so you don't get to properly, like, everything doesn't get filled out. So like it kind of can mess with you a little bit neurologically too. Like it's for some reason, like I love loud concerts and stuff, but I don't like to be at loud social events. I don't like it. It bothers me. It bothers my ears. I don't want to be there. Yeah. So like it's so weird. Like, and my mom was like, yeah, that's probably because you just have that tick, I guess. So I'm like,
you know what weirds me out, speaking of sound, you know what's kind of weird is I think part of it is me doing podcasts all these years. Sound bothers me in general. It's really weird. Like, unless it's coming from me, like what I'm doing, if someone else plays any sound, I get upset. Like, it's really weird. It's really weird. Like, I just have this I'm just very sensitive with sound in general, but I think it's from doing podcasts all these years, where it's just, sound.
It depends on the situation for me, because honestly, I'm the opposite, where, like, silence for too long really bothers me. Like, if I just sit here, like if I turn this off, right, I take my headphones off and the TV's off and all that, and Pringles isn't having a fit, and I'm just sitting here kind of idle for more than like 2 minutes, what gets really loud is inside my head, and that noise is far more detrimental than anything going on out here.
I think that.
That's very true though. I mean, like the sound in your head, it's worse for me around this time of year because it's so much like I was telling my friends this the other day. really weirdly, like from January to May, I'm a much different person than I am from May to January.
That fascinates me.
It's really weird. Well, May to like, I would say that that's probably.
Well,
it's just
right.
just because of winter blues and
kind of thing,
Whoa.
right?
yeah, it's a winter blues type of thing. It's really weird. I have told you guys this too. Like the time where it's the worst is like right at the start of the year, and then my birthday in April. Those are like, for some reason my brain is just like out of it, like it's dead for a while. It's really weird.
God, I just remember the term I'm looking for. It was, and it was so stupid because it was an easier term than what my brain was thinking of. Development, for a child's development.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So like that's what I was getting at. Like, like everybody develops, like, like most babies, after 9 months you're born healthy, normal, whatever it is. But it's not just the physical disabilities; it's also the ones that you just don't see. Like for me, like
cognitive.
But it's cognitive stuff too. So it's like it's always weird when people are like, oh, like, the day when I tell people, or when I show people the scar on my back from when I had heart surgery as a baby, like because they don't look at me, they don't know, because they don't see anything.
I mean, how could you?
Yeah, like, so it's like, like, and thank God that, everything checks out nowadays. But it's like, it's weird. Like when I go to the doctor, right? Like, and I know other people have had this happen too, but when I go to the doctor, it's weird. Like when I get my physical done, because I do that I stay on top of my health. So, as you should. But, but most people our age don't, because they think that, we still got time, we're young, we don't have to worry about it, whatever.
Got to be on top of your health, or your health's gonna be on top of you fast.
Exactly.
Facts.
So like when they do like the EKG stuff, or when all the stuff they gotta do, and then they listen to my heart and things like that, and my doctor gets the chart, he was like, oh yeah, one of your, I guess, chambers, or one of the valves in your heart has like a flipped wave where the sound goes the sound and the blood almost goes the other way.
That would freak the fuck out. I'm sorry. That would that would really scare me.
But it's not. But the thing is, it sounds bad. It's not. It's actually very common in premature people that just happens. That can happen. So it's not anything to freak out over. It's not going to kill me when I'm older or something like that. It's just
good. Good.
So it's like, he was like, huh? He's like one of the waves is like flipped, the opposite way. He's like, okay, that makes sense because you're premature. And he's like, and like literally where it's flipped is basically right where they had to do the surgery. So I was like, I get it.
Oh, right.
But it's so weird so it's like, it's always that thing of like, when we, hell, even when we talk about, like in sports terms, like players, having mental health issues or having physical, like people see the physical issues. You don't see the other stuff, or like, or even if it's a physical issue, sometimes you can cover it up. Like I don't have a physical issue, but you would never know there's a huge scar on my back, like right where the heart is through my back. You would never know unless I took my shirt off.
Yeah.
So like it's just weird that people are so quick to think things about, just like normal people, like pro athletes in this case, like what we're watching today. It's like people always think about things like, a person looks normal. That's not always the case. There's other things that there's a million things that could be going on with that person that you don't know about. So
yeah. Well, sorry.
No, please go, Scoop. You're good.
Well, no, I was just going to say really quick. The only thing I was going to say is that's why people say, like, just trying to put their like best foot forward with everybody, because again, like when people say sometimes that it can sound invalidating when people say everybody's going through something. I don't think it has to be invalid. I don't think it has to be taking something away from you to say that everybody does have their own shit. It's just like, it. Yeah. That's all I was trying to say.
I think, unfortunately, and this is something that I need to work on a lot more, and I realize as I get older, I think subconsciously we always judge a book by its cover in that way. I mean, I know it's an obvious thing, but something that I struggle with, or that I've noticed, is like subconsciously I'm always going to have an opinion about a person that I like see on the street, people that I don't know. And so it's like I'm trying to work on that a lot more. The subconscious of it's wild to me.
Well, I think having the opinion isn't I think that's a human thing. I think being open to the and I think this is anything in life. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion, but if you give yourself the opportunity to gain more information, you should be open to allowing those opinions to change.
Yeah.
My first girlfriend's uncle used to always say to me, and it sounds funny, but it's true. My first girlfriend's uncle used to say to me, opinions are like an asshole. Everybody's got one.
Yeah, it's true. It is true.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I got to get something.
No, you're good. You're good. But yeah, I think with having a disability, I think what's really fascinating about it is the fact that you don't think of it as abnormal when you have it. Like, I really don't think of my life as much different because of it, I guess.
No. Like, because it's like that's what's normal to you, or that's what's normal to Scoop, where it's like, growing up, it was normal for me, like a lot of kids did back then, but like it was normal for me, to have asthma, to be a bigger kid, to have high blood pressure. As a little kid, I had high blood pressure. Like I've had high blood pressure my entire life. So like it's, people don't realize those things. Like, you always see like the comments of like people online, and people online can say whatever they want because they're behind a screen. But you see people online saying, "Oh, well, just do this or just do that, and things will, you'll fix it." It's like, it's not that easy. It doesn't work like that. It's like that's not for everybody. So like, when I see people talk about like just regular like little health things, it's like, oh yeah, like try to do this at the gym or try to drink this. I'm like, yeah, well that thing could make me sick or potentially hurt me versus
well the thing is, everyone's body, when it comes to that, everyone's body composition is different.
Yeah.
And by the way, it brings me to this. I really dislike that we are at this place in society where we need to put this stuff on TV. Like, you have somebody like with a body with a deformity or they're fatter than normal. That's not the right way to say it, but you kind of get where I'm going. Yeah. I don't like the fact that it's like they're on TV and it's like, don't judge me. It's like, why do I need a 30-second commercial for you to tell me that? Isn't that like common human decency? I just don't understand that. Like, why are we at a place in society where we need on our television screens while we're watching football for you to say something that's common human decency? It's like, guys, it's common human decency.
What's crazy is, and I've seen this before, they'll show a commercial like that, right? And then in the very next commercial, it'll be some sort of weight loss drug that should not be pushed on people. So it's big, you stick yourself with it. Oh yeah, you're gonna lose weight in like 2 weeks. Like,
yeah, they go from don't judge me about my weight, and then the next commercial is an Ozempic advertisement.
Yeah,
it's just like, guys, what kind of message are we sending here?
It just doesn't make sense. It's like I like, like I've always said for me, like I wear my weight well. You would never know I weighed 250 pounds, but like it's but even when I was a little kid, 3, 4, 5 years old, I was built stocky, big. I had to grow into my body. I had a big body ever since I was a little kid. So like, for me it was like, this is normal to me. Being, some people would be like, oh, 250, that's way too heavy, or 250 is obese, or whatever it is. Like, no, it's not, because if that's normal for what you've mostly carried your entire life, that's normal.
Well, so, I will say for you, because we talk about this like privately with your work and how much you're walking and stuff. You always tell me, hey, I've lost a lot of weight because I'm moving around. So you're also actively actually losing a lot of weight at the same time too.
Yeah, you know what's funny is like I don't jump up. Like the heaviest I ever was 260. And it's crazy. I can eat until my stomach explodes. I will not go over 260. My body just plateaus there, and that's it. And then if I go down, my body plateaus pretty much at 225. If I go any lower, I start feeling sick. So I know that if I lost weight, I can't go any lower, or maybe not permanently, but I know that right now I can't go any lower than 225. If I go any lower than that, I'll start feeling sick.
What's really weird to me, this is something that I've been thinking about recently, as a lot of my friends are talking about, their weight and like weight loss and stuff. I am the skinniest person. I'm at the complete opposite spectrum as you are, which is fine. Which is like, I'm like so skinny that, guys, I could eat like 6 burgers in one sitting and it will not affect me because I am so skinny. Like when I went to Buffalo Wild Wings with Shane and our crew, I had 2 double patty burgers, like giant burgers, fucking huge. 2 of them in one sitting.
My facial expression just then looked like Cody Bellinger.
Literally. How high are you, Scoop? How high are you?
No, but it's but they're like huge, right? They're like massive burgers, massive. And I had Pepsi on the side, so I was able to kind of put it down.
Hey, Pepsi over Coke. There we go.
Have you guys seen Speaking of that, have you guys seen the new Pepsi Super Bowl advertisement? Have I sent that to you guys?
No.
It's amazing. You guys remember the Coca-Cola polar bear?
Yeah.
No.
So they got the Coca-Cola wow, Scoop, you don't know about the Coca-Cola polar bear?
That's not what you asked. That's not what you asked. You said, do you remember it?
Okay. Do you know about it?
I don't know, but I know I don't remember.
Really bad. You watch football.
I don't watch polar bears play football.
No, Scoop. Damn it. Oh my god. Hold on a second.
Oh my god, can it be March? I want this pod to start.
The only one saying we gotta wait until March is Rob. It's not me.
Yeah, because I'm not trying to overload my schedule after the Super Bowl. I'm trying to rest, dude. My schedule's gonna
I understand.
Flip, dude.
I understand.
You do realize that my schedule after the Super Bowl is I'm going to be up at midnight, and I'm going to stay. It's going to be midnight to noon. That's going to be my schedule because of the Olympics. It's going to be insane. God. Like, my entire schedule is going to flip because of the Olympics. I want to watch stuff live on TV. Because I want to watch it live, man. I don't want to.
Damn it.
Yes, exactly. Why? I hate tape delay Olympic Games, man. I'm up. I'm gonna watch.
So you're gonna stay up from midnight to noon,
and then I'm gonna go to sleep at like 12:30
p.m.
Yeah, p.m. Yeah, I'm gonna flip my schedule around for like 2 weeks because I'm trying to watch the damn Olympics. I don't care. I want to watch it live. That's my entire point. Anyway, so the Coca-Cola Polar Scoop. You watch football in December, right? Like around Christmas time, right?
Yes.
You watch Eagles games. The Coca-Cola Polar Bear is like every second commercial. How have you not seen it?
Rob, I can't begin to tell you how little attention I pay to commercials.
Okay, that's fair. Okay.
I use the commercials to go do something I have to get done, to go take a break, to go get food or a drink. I barely pay attention to commercials.
Well, that's good on you because for me, I pay attention to advertisements all the time due to marketing purposes.
The only time I pay attention to commercials is if they're showing me the same one 3 times, and I'm like, why is this on again? Like they did that with an adoption commercial once, and I'm just like, in the last couple months, I'm like, I feel bad that I'm so annoyed at an adoption commercial, but why am I seeing this for the 7th time?
That is true. I hate that kind of stuff. But you know what I hate the most, and I'll wait until Brandon comes back for that advertisement.
He's right there.
Oh, there we go. I thought you were out really quick. But anyway, what are you eating? What did you grab? Yogurt?
Yogurt.
Yes.
Raspberry lemon.
You know that company used to be an NFL sponsor.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, did you say raspberry lemon?
Yeah.
Hey, there's raspberry in my coffee.
Oh. I love raspberries. It's my favorite fruit.
It's it's one of my favorites. It's been gaining helium in my on my big board of fruits. But
you have a big board of fruit. Whoa! Hold on a second. You have a big board of fruits?
Yes.
What? God.
For those that don't know, just because we haven't said it since we came back on after our technical difficulties, this is our most informal show of the year. So yes, we're eating. Yes, we're talking about random stuff.
Well,
yes,
see, here's the thing. It says Senior Bowl celebration. I don't think we've said a word about the game in 45 minutes.
Because the game is
that's the entire point. That's the entire point of this show.
Here's what's funny. We haven't said a word about the game in about 45 minutes, and yet on Pro Bowl week, we probably still have paid more attention to football today than the people who voted for the Pro Bowl.
What's crazy is, like, I would pay more attention to this game if the national side would just score. They have 0 points at half.
Yeah, it's 17-0. It's terrible. No, but the entire purpose of this show is to be as informal as possible. That's literally the entire point.
You know, and here's what's hilarious. It's our most informal show, and it's the one show that my freaking kitten hasn't shown up since. Like, oh, never mind. Speak of the devil.
Well, your kitten hasn't shown up since we got back from technical difficulties.
We'll see. Here's what happened. She just put her face up right to the camera. She just was just close enough, or just far away enough to not be shown up on here. But her face was just right by the camera.
That's ridiculous. And then guess what? We're gonna see Pringles' asshole tomorrow on the day sports show.
While the four guys eating.
If I was eating something else, I would spit it up somehow. It'd be all over the camera probably. We'd have to end the show.
You know what? Scoop always there's Pringles. We called her enough. No, Scoop always does something on every one of our shows that makes me blow a gasket. I said this on What's for Scoop.
Yeah, you did.
Scoop on Thursday. It was the funniest one was because I think our best show of the year was last week because I thought it was just hilarious and it was great. This man didn't know that Peter Griffin, like, he just when we talk about Seth MacFarlane, he's like, oh, the fat guy from Family Guy. I'm like, it's Peter Griffin.
Yeah.
And then Brandon proceeds to almost spit out his water because it was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Because I forgot his name, and I'm so glad.
A guy? How do you forget?
Because I never watched Family Guy.
You forgot Paul.
Because I never watched Family Guy. That's why.
Well, and that's a problem.
And I'm really glad I didn't talk about his wife because I know it's Lois Griffin, but I almost said Kathy Griffin.
Oh my God!
To be fair, they do look similar.
Yeah. No.
Well, here's the thing. The thing that upset me the most about it, obviously jokingly, because the entire point was that it was funny, and we're all laughing together at it. How do you forget a guy's name being Peter? It's four letters.
No, 5. But unless it's like Russian, because they take a vowel. Because they take a vowel. They take a vowel out of everything for some reason.
Or some shit like in Russian.
But anyway, going back to what the hell was I saying? Oh, the Peter Griffin thing. Because it wasn't just like, I don't know. Basically, I didn't remember his last name was Griffin either. So it wasn't just the Peter.
That's a problem, man.
So it wasn't the Peter part that I forgot. It was literally just the whole name. It wasn't that it was a hard name. His name could have been Jack, and I would have forgotten it.
That's why I'm excited for this pop culture podcast. But I'm also a little worried about it because.
Well, see, here's what's annoying. Is I dropped 2 references today. I dropped a Star Wars reference from Jean-Luc Picard, and I dropped another reference that I don't even remember right now. Neither one of those get credit, but every slip-up I make gets full attention.
Whoever the BYU mascot is, it's the best. It might be the best second best mascot, at least behind a duck in college football. Yeah, what it takes to be the BYU Cougar is awesome.
No, but the thing,
the BYU. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, but the thing is, Scoop, I do appreciate the references, but my concern is this: we're gonna do the MCU, which is like the primary amount of movies we have to do is what, 10 movies, maybe? Is it 10?
I don't know. You guys have the ones coming. You guys have been the ones coming up with the list.
It's around like 9 or 10 films, and I'm really scared that Scoop's gonna forget everything about the first Iron Man movie when we get to Infinity War.
Oh, he will.
And that's a problem. That's gonna be like
Also,
that's an issue.
Also, wait. I forgot BYU was their mascot was the Cougars.
Yeah.
I guess that explains why Zach Wilson went there.
Yep.
It does explain why he went there. Yes, it does.
My God, that mascot is so good though. Like, that's the only mascot that does that stupid folding table stuff where he just does a push up onto each level of it. Like,
I will say that's one of my few complaints about the Yankees is that they don't have a mascot. The Yankees should have a mascot.
they tried.
They tried, and then it messed up.
And that you ever see that thing? I think it's horrifying.
you showed it to me once, but I still say our mascot in New Orleans is more horrifying than that.
Yeah, I know. My God, man.
Pink cake baby.
That freaking big ass baby. Oh my God. That's my sleep. You guys talk about sleep paralysis demons. That's my sleep paralysis demon.
I wonder if the Yankees do bring in a new mascot or hell even bring back the old one. I wonder if that's gonna have like. I wonder if that's gonna be like our Grimace for the Mets that one year where it's just they went on a run. Like, I really wonder if that's gonna be like the thing that saves or brings the franchise back to its former glory is adding a mascot.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say the Mets' former glory because they didn't go back to what they were in 1986.
No,
but they were close to it.
The run they went on with that is pretty damn
Sorry,
good.
Rob, you were trying to say something.
Okay, wait, I have something else I want to say. Do you guys think in the history of Mr. and Mrs. Met that the actual people inside the mascots got married? Like the people who did, like, do you actually think that's possible?
It legitimately.
I have no idea.
Dudes in there.
What? You could legitimately be two dudes.
Like, we don't know who's in those costumes. Like, they've shown those like memes where it's some like, you know, like 60-year-old like, you know, old dude in a Minnie Mouse costume. I'm like, yeah. So we don't know if Mrs. Met is some like, you know, old dude in there. Two dudes like, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Met are two dudes.
I told you about me knocking over Mrs. Met or Mr. Met, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I knocked over Mr. Met once.
How?
Because so I was in front of Citi Field, right? And of course, went over to take a picture with him. And now he's not the tallest in the world, and neither am I. And of course, whenever I lean too much on something, well, my balance is never good to begin with, but whenever I lean too much on something, there's always a risk that if they shift their movement, then my movement will get shifted and I'm not ready for it. So when we go to pull away from taking the picture after we're done, and Mr. Met pulls away and I'm not ready, so my momentum goes his direction when I'm not ready to disconnect. And plus his big ass round head didn't help.
Scoop, can I ask a somewhat disparaging question? And I apologize.
I don't even know what that means. So
this might be a rude question, but how fast can you run a 40?
How fast could I run a 40?
Wow, that's a great question to come back in on.
Yeah. How fast do you think you could actually run a 40-yard dash? How fast?
I mean, I've never tried, but I mean, we're talking 40 yards, right?
40-yard dash. Yep.
Yeah. Oh God, because I'm trying to think of what like the slowest offensive lineman in history has ever run, and then triple that. I don't know, maybe 19. Yeah. See, here's the thing. I'm afraid to throw a number on it because I know it's gonna be so wrong. I don't know, maybe 20 seconds.
Honestly, it's not bad. I'm gonna look. What's the slowest 40-yard dash in history?
I think it's like 6.5.
Yeah, it's 6.05. I've run.
Okay, I was close.
I've done like a 6:15, I think.
I know in high school, I fell during mine because I was like leaning a little too far forward. So instead of restarting it, we just continued from it. So it was like a 6.3 or whatever. So I know now that I'm older and actually in my prime and I'm in better shape than that, I could probably get under 6. I could probably. I would love
to try that once. The problem is that I like my momentum. Once my momentum takes me, like I can't come to a stop. So I'd have to really make sure that there's nothing that could even remotely trip me. Because if my foot catches something wrong, I'm done. And I don't mean I'm done like the 40-yard is done. I mean I'm done like I'm gonna be in the hospital.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, but that's funny that you mentioned that because I had this thing in middle school. We were doing like a track and field unit, and I was getting ready to like. I've always had this with Jim where I have like different rivals for different things. Like we kind of just goof off and like, just like try to compete with each other kind of stuff. Fun times. I was about to run a 40. I was about to run track. I was like so hype. I was like, let's go. And as I go, I like literally fall on my head. Like I literally just slid right through. Like I didn't hit my head. I hit my leg, but it was like a giant ass gash because I like completely fell over. And you know what's funny? I got recruited to do track and field in high school, and I said no. Dude, I would have been the slowest track and field person in the history of the world. Like, I run fast for someone who has CP, but oh my god, I'm so slow. Holy crap. And you know what's funny? In middle school, I got recruited to do wrestling. Can you imagine me doing wrestling?
No way.
I'm not joking. I got recruited to do wrestling. Which is nuts.
I'm just trying to think of how to phrase this.
Go for it.
Don't you need like some isn't one of the things that you need physically for wrestling to have like a really big like wingspan?
Not necessarily.
Okay. There's like weight classes.
Go, Brandon, go.
Like there's also weight classes to it. Like you can't like you're not gonna put some 5'8" like 170-pound kid up against like a 6'4".
Well, I know. Well, yeah, I know that. That's why they have like the high weight or no. Yeah, I'm sorry. Heavyweight, welter,
exactly.
Yeah, got the featherweight or welterweight, whatever the hell it's called.
Most of the kids that you go up against, like I mean, I'm not a wrestler. I never wrestled, but I know kids that did. Most of the kids that you went up against, your wingspan is roughly the same as them, so it doesn't really make a difference. So,
okay, thank you.
My massive concern has always been an ACL tear on either of my legs. Especially my left, because if I tear my ACL on my left side, I'm fucked for life, essentially. So that's part of the reason I don't do anything like majorly intensive other than, I guess, tennis and running. Because I want
to play tennis against you one day.
Oh, you will smack me. I'm awful at tennis. I'm terrible.
So am I.
I am awful at tennis.
We have tennis courts right down the street from my house. I want to play, but I've never played. So
it's fun, dude. And like I only slept 3 hours before this show because
wait, what the hell? What does that have to do with tennis?
I'm getting there. Give me a moment.
My apologies. I'm sorry.
No, because I stayed up late to watch the Australian Open women's final.
Oh, okay now.
And then I also watched that TV show Wonder Man. That I'm excited for your thoughts on that, Brandon, because honestly, that show's pretty great.
Who's your favorite tennis player in history?
In history, Serena Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was the answer I expected.
I mean, it's because of her serve. I mean, her serve, like seeing like because I don't serve normally because I play casually, so I just hit the ball on the ground and hit it. But seeing my dad serve like how you're supposed to and barely hit the area that you're supposed to hit, which is like that little
square-ish thing,
little square thing
that's diagonally across from you, yeah.
Yeah, you can't like hitting that alone is really hard. So to do it with that kind of power and that kind of finesse and power, really, as funny as that is, it's insane to me.
And with the spin that you put on the ball as you hit it too, like it's
unbelievable.
That's the reason why they're pros. Like, it's like it looks easy when you're watching pros do it because pros have been doing it since they were like 3 years old. But it's like it's really not. It's not.
No, and that's what I think is so funny because compared to any other sport, like any major sport in the world, I'm talking soccer, American football, basketball, hockey, MMA. Tennis is the easiest sport to analyze. It is so, like, especially when you played it, it's really easy because tennis is all about, it really is all about momentum. It is the most amazing sport when it comes to it's momentum and mental toughness at the pro level more than anything else. Because like you could be up like 3-0 in a set and collapse. And the reason why you collapse is because when you get to like 3-0 in a set, you start losing it. I mean, you start breaking your racket, you start losing confidence. It is so much about momentum. And that's what makes the sport really fun to watch, is just seeing how the emotion of these players. And look, the women's game is only 3 sets. You're only playing for 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours max. Guys, we had a crazy match. I think it was yesterday with Djokovic that went 5 hours and 30 minutes. The attrition you have to be in tennis on the men, well, even the women's side, I'm not dismissing the women's side. 3 sets is still incredibly hard. Playing tennis for 3 hours is freaking hard, but playing for 5 hours, essentially nonstop, 5-6 hours at maximum, it's insane. The level of endurance, the level of just mental fortitude is incredible. It is such a fantastic sport to watch on TV, especially when you've played it at any level. Once you play it, you realize how great the sport actually is.
Why do you think when players finish a big match and they play it for 4 or 5 hours, it's like they're not collapsing on the court because they can't believe they just won. They're collapsing on the court and when they won because they're tired as all hell.
They're beat, man. And I was seeing there's this great podcast network, Served Media, which is Andy Roddick. Do you guys remember Andy Roddick? Yeah. He I've just been listening to his stuff around this time due to the Australian Open. I'm really getting into everything he's talking about. And he's like, dude, I would, like, if I did a night session at like Arthur Ashe at the US Open, like my entire schedule would be screwed. My recovery would take longer. And that's the thing, like they have to, the press, guess what the press has to do? The tennis is so cultured this way because it's such a hard sport. You know how in the NFL, like a press conference is like an hour, maybe 45 minutes after a game's over? A press conference for a tennis match, the press might wait there for 3 hours for a guy to recover, and then they'll get to the podium. It's the player's choice. Because it's so physically demanding that they don't want to be up there right away at the podium. Sometimes they'll do it right away, sometimes they won't. So you're okay. And then, but yeah, so the recovery is crazy, and then it's like, oh, you're being basically, they literally don't want to eat after a long match like that because they're just so exhausted. They just want to rest, like take a shower and rest. But you have to eat something, or else you won't recover fast enough. Like the recovery that these guys have to do, men and women, is insane. Like tennis to me is such an insane sport, and that's why I love it. I like the women's side a lot more than the men's because watching 5 hours of tennis is not easy. I do it from time to time, but I don't like 5-set tennis. I love 3 sets, and that's why I love the women's game. And the women's game also just has a massive ton of parity now, kind of like what the NFL was this year. Compared to the men's, where it's still very, very top heavy. But yeah, tennis, like I always tell people this with tennis. It's like you might not be interested in watching tennis right away, but when you actually start playing it and realizing how physically demanding it is, hell, I play casually for a few hours and I'm sweating profusely, like through my shirt, like every edge. I'm just soaked. I'm not. This sounds disgusting, but it's tennis. Like that's what it is. Even playing casually, you are smacked. Can you imagine what the pros go through?
Oh, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Any sport that you play during the summer, like I've gone with my friends to go play soccer at the field or basketball at the courts over in Kearney, and it's like literally you're there, you're having a good time with your friends, you know, like you're playing, you know, semi hard, and literally after about an hour, you're already tired. Like you're not like too tired that you can't keep going, but you're tired. So it's like
tennis is just a different level of attrition, and that's why, again, I play it casually. I don't take tennis very seriously. I think I haven't played. Last time I played was like 2-3 years ago. But I still love, like, the reason why I got into watching tennis, it's the only sport that I'm like this. The only reason I got into watching tennis, particularly the women's game, and falling in love with it is because I played it. It's because I understand to a very, very small degree what these guys go through in the professional game. And let's not even mention the travel. These guys play from January to November. They travel all around the world, almost nonstop. I mean, it's a year-long sport. It's insane.
I've often wondered this because it's like I can see a few similarities. I've often wondered how many tennis players or vice versa, like baseball players, that being a baseball player would actually help you. I think if you started out like as a baseball player and then got into tennis, because the way in which like baseball, like your body positioning and just being able to obviously to have good hand coordination to hit a ball, I think baseball would be a good or vice versa, be a good segue into either sport or double dipping into a sport.
It kind of does, but there is. Obviously, with baseball, it's a lot different. But the thing with tennis is tennis, to me, is much easier to pick up and play than baseball is.
Well, I'm saying the way when I was talking about similarities, like the amount of torque you have to put into hitting the ball, the amount of, and it's not just that, but if you ever realize how they're positioned on the tennis court, where they're basically almost in the same exact stance as a fielder is as the ball's being pitched.
Yeah, I'd be really curious as to what professional tennis players would say to that, because obviously I have no expertise in that. But the thing is, the biggest thing I would say is when you're batting, right? Most guys are not switch hitters. I mean, there are some, right? But you're only hitting to one side. When you're running around and doing forehands and backhands, you're moving around on both sides. That's like the first thing I can think of. I'd be very curious to see what a professional tennis player and a professional baseball player would say to that, because it is an interesting thought. I just don't have the right means to think about it. But it's not a bad thought by any stretch. But yeah. Anyway, I reckon if you want to hate on, if you are someone who just hates on tennis and hates watching it, go play it for like a week and you'll realize how great it is. That's how I got into it, literally.
See,
that's why I love it.
Weird, like I never hated it. I can't watch it. To me, I don't hate it. It just kind of bores me. Like I like sports that have physical contact. So whether that's football, baseball,
okay, that's fair. I can
it's just it's for me now I appreciate bowling because I think bowling is probably the easiest sport to pick up and play. But I think that when it comes to bowling, it's fun to do as an activity, as like a hobby with your friends or whatever. But to me, as like a sport, I don't care too much for it. But I do like
professional bowlers are nasty though.
Oh yeah.
They're nasty.
Do either one of y'all have a favorite professional bowler?
Belmonte.
Mine is Mookie Betts, because have you seen Mookie Betts do professional bowling? He's actually really good at bowling.
I've seen like intermittent clips of him.
What's the professional bowling league called?
PBA.
Professional Bowling Association?
Yeah, PBA.
Yeah. PBA.
Well, it's the PBA tour. Like, there's a PGA tour for golf. It's the PBA tour for bowling.
I have sad news.
What?
That I just got.
What?
According to Dave Roberts, Shohei Ohtani will not pitch in the World Baseball Classic. He will be.
Oh my gosh! Oh,
and that comes off the heels of Team Puerto Rico. Team Puerto Rico might actually pull out now. You said.
Yeah, because they have so many guys who can't get their immigration stuff taken care of.
Oh my god!
And yesterday Altuve couldn't get his stuff done, so Altuve's also out.
I don't understand why they can't just excuse it for the sake of the World Baseball Classic and just let it go.
What a buzzkill, man!
So they'll excuse it. So they'll excuse it for the World Cup, but they won't do it for the WBC. You serious?
I guess because not enough people care about the WBC.
I don't.
Why would you not care about the WBC? WBC is great.
Ask Barnes. Barnes hates it.
Who's Barnes?
Brian Barnaby, one of the TCA guys.
Why does he not like it?
But Barnes hates it because he's like, I prefer just to watch the MLB rather than watching guys play overseas and whatnot. I'm like, yeah, but it's like I can understand that if your guys aren't in it, but Josh Chisholm's in it, Aaron Judge is in it, David Bednar's in it.
Plus, doesn't he understand that there's a good number of guys who play overseas that end up coming to MLB partially because of how they perform in WBC?
Exactly. Yeah, that too. And to me, it's like I watch it also because it's like to me like that's my version of the World Cup. It's pride in your country. So it's
exactly.
So it's those. He's like, I don't take it seriously because these guys don't take it seriously. I'm like, what do you mean these guys don't take it seriously? Yes, they do. It's for their country.
They very much do. The last WBC was my first year watching it, and I got addicted to it immediately. I was like, this is amazing. This is.
You should have went back. You should have gone back to the 2018 one or 17 one. Oh my god. That one was phenomenal. That tournament.
I mean, dude, not only was it fun to watch, obviously the U.S. and Canada and everything. No, you're good. It was really fun to stay up late and watch the games that are happening in Japan and Europe, and just be like, this is some quality baseball.
Oh, but wait,
quality baseball.
So Ohtani won't pitch, but does that mean he's out altogether? Is he going to hit?
He's going to DH, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's that. Yeah. I misunderstood. Then I thought that meant he.
But I'm pissed that he's not going to pitch. That sucks. I want him to pitch.
At least he's still there, though. That's and the thing is, to me, he's a better hitter than he is a pitcher. I mean, he's a good pitcher, but I think he's a better hitter.
Well, I'll say this. I think he's actually pretty comparable in both. I think it's just because he's gotten so banged up that he hasn't gotten to actually get into a long-term rhythm to reach his ceiling on the mound.
That's why I'd rather just make him a permanent hitter.
I wouldn't rather, because I think even I won't say a part-time pitcher, that's disrespectful, but even a guy who makes it through 15 starts the way that he pitches, I still think him doing to that level or for that amount of time in a season, I still think is better than a lot of pitchers you can have for a full season. So I still would rather have him, even if it's only for half the season. But I get where you're coming from, at least.
Yeah, I'm just worried with him. Like I've been worried his whole career. Like, he's getting into his 30s now, so I'm just worried about the injuries on that side that are going to rack up, and then it might affect his hitting. That's kind of why I would slowly transition him into being just a DH, because I just think he's better served. Like, to me, where he makes the biggest impact is bat. Like, in terms of like,
I'll say this: if I'm taking him off the mound, I'm teaching him how to play a position.
That is true. I would.
Would you when he's basically the greatest DH to ever play the game at this point?
I mean, you and I have seen it over the. I'm going to get heated now. You and I have seen it over the last freaking 5-10 years. Have you know how much it obstructs the lineup when you have a DH only player locked into a long-term contract? We've seen that with Giancarlo Stanton. We've seen it with Aaron Judge. We've seen it with Juan Soto. Like, not to disrespect Aaron Judge, I just mean like when he came off of injury and he couldn't play right field for some reason. But like we've seen what it happens. I would hate to see the Dodgers. Like, when I say this, I don't mean, I know a lot of people would love to see it for the Dodgers because they hate the Dodgers now just because they have done what they've done, and I don't agree with that at all. But that's a whole other argument. But I think that, and plus $700 million, I don't care how much of that is deferred, you're not paying three quarters of $1 billion freaking dollars for a guy to go up to a plate 4 times a game. You are not doing that.
Yeah, that is true.
It's crazy because the Mets are going to end up doing that with Soto because Soto can't feel for shit.
Well, he couldn't feel for shit. He couldn't feel for shit when he signed with them. That's why I wasn't upset at all that $5 million more he walked across town.
Yeah.
Well,
sayonara, motherfucker. Sorry.
You're not wrong. That's how I felt when he chose the Mets over the Yankees. I was like, "Oh, forget you, bro." I'm like, "You can't."
Well, I don't understand. I don't understand why you guys got mad when he was only there for a year. Like, really? Are you guys that upset?
No. Well, here's the thing. I was more annoyed. Like, I didn't feel jilted. I was just more like annoyed. I was like frustrated. There were people who were mad at Steinbrenner for it. I didn't understand that argument at all.
Because we were the only offer that could compete with the Mets at the time.
Well, not only that, but you could tell that no matter how high we went, Cohen was going to give more, and Juan Soto was automatically going to take that. So at that point, Hal is like, rather than not know how much money I have tied up to him, I'm just going to go move on to other business. And I'm sorry, but if you look this past year, Bellinger, Fried, all those guys definitely was a better team than if we had Mr. No Gloves over there.
I think what really stunned, what really just kind of pissed people off, rubbed them the wrong way I think it wasn't so much. It was the fact that without him, they don't get to that World Series that year, and not just that, but like when you have somebody like that basically brings you to your World Series for the first time in 15 years, the guy that has the game-winning hit against Cleveland, send you pretty much to the World Series, like you're gonna be pissed and thinking, oh well, he's gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
But the thing is, like, but people also have to realize, but then once I saw the money get over around like 600, I was like, all right, this is enough. Like,
I didn't even mind the 600. Once I started with a 7, I'm like, all right, screw you. Like, and here's the thing, like, I didn't suddenly, like, a lot of Yankees fans suddenly was like, oh, he's a bum, blah 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 blah. He wasn't that good anyway. I wasn't that. I was like, I can still acknowledge how important he was to us in 2024. I got to go to a World Series game which is a bucket list thing. I got to go to a World Series game solely because of him in a lot of ways. Yeah. But no, it's. I'm sorry, I'm not committing over 15 years. 15 years. I'll say that again. I'm not committing almost $800 million to a guy who probably won't even buy a fielding glove during the time he spends in New York.
Yeah.
He'll buy more Cancun tickets than he will fielding materials.
I will say, the thing that I find funny about international play is the exhibitions. This is also the case in the NBA. These exhibitions are so stupid. I'm so excited for them. Panama's going up against the Yankees. Are you kidding me? What are we doing here?
Well, see, here's the question. If that game were being played 15 years ago, which team would Mariano Rivera play for?
Panama. These guys play for their countries. These guys play for their countries.
Yeah, and you know what it is too. Remember, Derek Jeter played against the Yankees.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, Derek Jeter played against the Yankees as part of Team USA.
I respect that.
Guys, this is hilarious. Like, Canada's playing against the Blue Jays. It's gonna be amazing.
Back the fuck up. What? You know what Canada should do? They should make an exhibition Montreal Expos team.
Oh yeah, I would love that. I would love that.
I want the Montreal Expos to come back.
Oh, we all do.
We all do.
It's amazing. It's amazing. People are like, "Oh, it didn't work. Oh, it didn't work. It didn't work because you had Jeffrey Loria owning them."
Guys, that's good. Canada, Team Canada against the Blue Jays is gonna be amazing. It's gonna be brilliant.
Besides, I want another Canadian team just to rival the Blue Jays. Be like, hey, who's the best team in Canada? Them or them?
See. Here's the thing: is I want just any Nashville team. I don't care what they're called or who they are. If we get another Canada team, I need it to be the Montreal Expos. To me, it won't feel right if there's a second Canada team that's not them.
Yeah. USA is going to play the San Francisco Giants. I freaking love that. That's bizarre. Insane.
So bizarre.
That's the weirdest shit ever.
And then Puerto Rico's playing the Boston Red Sox.
Isn't that half their team? Sorry.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't know. Was it
it's the other
in the other years? Hold on, I'm gonna dust the hat off.
Dust the hat off. Oh yeah, you made a comment.
Oh my god. Oh my god, guys! I got
what?
I got the best Team USA matchup. I gotta wait for Brandon to hear this.
Okay, I'm waiting.
I'm here. Just say it.
After the U.S. goes up to San Francisco, they're playing the Colorado Rockies.
Let's go!
By 20.
Oh my god!
Wait, hang on. Back up. Who's playing where?
The Team USA is going up to Colorado and playing the Rockies.
That's what I was going to ask. Are they playing in Denver?
Yes.
Oh, that's going to set a home run record. There's gonna be dogs flying everywhere.
You're gonna put Bobby Wick, Cal Raleigh, Aaron Judge in Colorado. Oh my god. Oh my god.
You know what? The next time. What is this?
The Team Puerto Rico hat from 2017.
Nice. You know what? The next time the Yankees play in Colorado, Aaron Judge should be allowed to do steroids just for that series, just so we can see how he would perform in Colorado, in Denver, on roids. That would just be the most insane.
The ball wouldn't land. It would come off of that and go into forward.
Wait. I have an even better proposal. So we got the exhibition. Make everyone on Team USA take roids against the Rockies in that exhibition.
Like I would love to see Aaron Judge turn around 100-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle, juiced up on roids.
And that's a home run to deep left field by Aaron Judge, and the game is now tied 183 to 183.
Let's see what other fun ones. Great Britain this is the first round.
Jazz is playing for Great Britain, by the way.
Yeah, Great Britain.
Okay, back up. That's the one I didn't understand, because isn't he from not Curacao? He's from
something like that. Is
that considered British territory?
Or it's like Jamaica or something like that? Yeah, because back in the day, because his parents, it was when he was born, or basically his parents when they were younger.
Yeah,
that territory was still a British colony, I think.
Okay, because that was one of the few that I did not understand at all.
Yeah.
Are there groups in the WBC? What's the deal here? How does this work?
There are group play. Yeah.
It's actually structured very similar to the World Cup. Okay, wait, Brandon.
Yeah.
Did you ever look at what Jazz Chisholm's full name is?
Yeah, Jazzrado Prince Hermes Arrington Chisholm Jr. Yeah, that's insane.
How the hell did you remember that?
Because I was interested. I looked up his Wikipedia page.
Oh,
I didn't remember it. You can't remember that.
No. I was going to say. I mean, that's a Sean Payton play call right there.
Yeah. His name is Liz. Honestly, that would be if I was an NFL coach. That would be one of my play calls.
That's straight out of the godforsaken West Coast offense right there.
Wait, so do you guys know who's in the group or the pool for it's not called a group, it's called a pool for
IHNFI. IHNFI.
Yeah.
I have no freaking idea.
Yeah. Do you want to know? Do you guys know who's in the USA group or no?
Again, I have no idea. I don't even know who we're playing the first round.
So we're in the Houston group. So our opponents are Brazil, Great Britain, Mexico, Italy.
Oh Lord, that's an easy ass group.
Wait, say it again. Britain, Italy, and who are the other two?
Mexico and Brazil.
Interesting.
Mexico will give us a fight. The other ones won't.
Group A in San Juan is Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, and Puerto Rico.
That's a good group.
I hope. Does it say who the matchups are in our group or not? Do they not have those yet?
Well, no. Those are who we're playing. That's how it works in group play. You play everybody.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My bad.
Yeah.
God, this show is a bad. What's it called? It's a bad advertisement for my memory. I promise my memory is better than this.
Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, Puerto Rico for A. Tokyo, Group Pool C, Australia, Chinese Taipei, Czechia, Japan, and Korea.
I was gonna say unless they have like Japan or South Korea in there, that's got to be like a combined 14 players in Major League Baseball.
I was gonna say it's not many.
And then Pool D in Miami, Dominican Republic, Israel, Netherlands, Nicaragua, and Venezuela.
So the only two groups that really matter. Well, that's an okay group, but the only group
there's a lot of players. I mean, I think Bregman's playing for Team Israel.
I think so. Yeah. I think he is. But it's so funny.
I forget, where did Bregman sign? I don't even remember.
Good question. I don't even remember either.
Crap, I can't remember now. Was it Chicago?
Yeah, it was the Cubs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
He's a Cubby now.
Yeah, I couldn't remember because my brain went to L.A. because everyone went to L.A., but I was like, no, it wasn't them. And then I remembered he went to Chicago because then they had that thing about about potentially trading Nico Horner.
Oh, speaking about baseball, do you see that even afterwards, like all the Yankee fans that wanted Tucker, and I was like, guys, do you realize what the Dodgers gave Tucker? I'm like, do you know the Yankees were not going to do that, and B, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous for someone like Kyle Tucker.
Three, I'm sorry, Cody Bellinger for what we needed was a better fit.
Because he is. I said that immediately. And everybody's like, oh, you don't know what I'm talking about. It's Kyle Tucker. I'm like, Kyle Tucker's not a better baseball player than Cody Bellinger right now.
Also, did you hear that we're trying to get one more right-handed outfielder? So we've got offers we had one into Austin Hayes before he went to the White Sox. I don't know what people are going to the White Sox for, but
I don't. Why are the White Sox are spending money more than the Pirates? What universe are we living in?
Actually, the Pirates have low-key spent some coin this offseason.
They have. That's good.
Yeah, but no. So we had an offer into Austin Hayes. I know we have or had one into Randall Grichuk, and we're trying to bring back Austin Slater.
Let's see. What do we got?
Slater was low-key good for us when he was freaking healthy.
Yeah, which is what, 3 games? I'm gonna look right now because I saw something the other day. Yeah, I still don't understand why this team insists, why they're serious about bringing back Paul Goldschmidt. Stop. Let Ben Rice play.
Well, back up.
Ben Rose.
Back up. I will say I'm almost certain that if they do that, that is to be a backup to Ben Rice. I doubt they would give him the starting job.
But see, I don't want them to do what they're going to do, what they did last year, and be like, oh, Ben Rice, is not going to hit against lefties. It's like, well, he's not going to hit against lefties if you don't let him hit against lefties. You have to let the guy hit.
And see here's also a thing. is if we bring in a right-handed outfielder, that further, like I already believed it, but that further substantiates my notion that Jason Dominguez is gone.
Yeah, it would have to be.
And I hate it because, again, we could have gotten much more for him 3 years ago than we can now. But
yeah,
but it's just, you know, and also here's one thing that pissed me off. We spent that 3 months after firing Donnie Rowland to not have a head of our international scouting department, and then we promoted someone who's been there internally all along. The whole point of firing somebody like him was to bring in somebody like we interviewed that guy from Houston. It was to bring in somebody who was going to actually improve the department. Hiring somebody who was already in a department that was failing. What kind of a decision is that? In what way do you expect things to improve if you're just going to bring somebody up who was an heir to the throne, who's been in the same non-functional or at least under-functional situation and department this whole time? I don't see what the value was in there. I don't see what the logic was. I don't see what the vision was.
Minnesota Vikings. Cop. Minnesota Vikings. Cop.
What the hell was that decision to fire Adolfo Mensa?
Well, okay. Do you want to hear the dumbest part about the whole Adolfo Mensa thing?
Actually, can you give me 2 minutes? I got to go do something real quick.
Yeah. Go. I'm gonna talk about the Adolfo Mensa thing really quick because it's amazing. It's pure Minnesota Vikings. Aside from that, though, I am excited about the WBC. I am excited about the Olympics. It's gonna be great. Brandon, how excited are you for Olympic hockey? Are you hyped now? Or ready?
I mean, if they're gonna play on crap ice like that, I can't be excited for it. I'm still excited though. I still want to watch it. I still want it to be as good as we hope it is. I can't. If they're gonna play on a small rink with crappy ice, then I'm just like, what's the play? We're not gonna get a real true test of talent here.
Yeah. Dude, so Tuesday, February 10th, Canada, USA is going to be amazing.
Yeah,
on the women's side. On the women's side, that is going to be incredible. And that's, I think, 2:10 Eastern Time on USA Network. Dude, it's going to be incredible. That's going to be incredible. That's going to give us a real idea how the ice is going to hold up. Because they're gonna absolutely the women hate. We talk about this on What's the Scoop on Thursday. The women hate each other more than the men for U.S. and Canada. Honestly,
well, yeah.
So it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, like that's
honestly gonna be amazing, dude.
U.S. Canada is a tale as old as time. No matter what side it is. What a run there! Finally, the national team shows life.
Jesus Christ! Finally.
Oh, big thing last night was Jaeger Doman put up. He's now he's got the rookie record for consecutive games with a 3-pointer made. So
I added him back. I thought he would be the best stash to pick up in fantasy because if you trade Porter Jr., he has all the runway in the world to just absolutely kill.
And here's another thing. He's also now the youngest player in NBA history to record 25 points, 10 rebounds, and 5+ threes in a game.
Jesus. You know what I really want to make you guys watch, though, during the Olympics?
What?
Snowboarding. Snowboarding is amazing.
I watch it.
I know, but I want to get Scoop to watch it because it's so freaking good.
See, I watch it during the X Games. That's when I watch it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when do we open up Olympic hockey? When do we open up? Yeah, we open up. Wait, let me see. Let me check. When do we open up? Yeah, the women open up against Czechia on the 5th of February. So in a few days' time. The opening ceremony is Saturday, but obviously they do some events a few days early. That's gonna be such a good game.
I hope.
Yeah. 10:40 start on USA Network. I'll wake up for that. We got to watch that. It's going to be great. But yeah. And then Finland, Canada is going to be nasty too on the women's side as well after that.
Well, Finland, any kind of Finnish team, I always have issues with because there's a saying that goes, one thing about players from Finland is that they have no finish. So I want Finland's tough, but it's like there's just a lot of good. There is talent there, but out of all the Nordic, I guess that's what it's called, the Nordic countries, they're the least of all of them.
Even on the women's side, I would say it's the same here because obviously we're focused on the woman the first week. Also, the older I get, the less I care about the opening and closing ceremonies. I haven't watched an opening or closing ceremony for the Olympics in years. I genuinely don't care.
People still watch the opening, but it's like, who the hell actually watches the closing? Like, I don't know anybody that does.
Do we care about the opening ceremony still? Do we still care about it? It's just a bunch of pageantry.
Yeah, but I know some people do because they treat it like it's a Super Bowl, where it's like everybody goes nuts over the player introduction, or the team introductions and stuff like that. So, I get
it's like
it.
This giant production. If I'm gonna watch it, I'm gonna watch it live on NBC in the morning. I'm not gonna wait till prime time to watch it.
Yeah. God, can this national team please just score in this game? Just put up some points, please.
Yeah, this
please.
is ugly.
Stop dropping passes. Stop it.
I love Mike Tirico, and I'm excited for him to do primetime at the Olympics. But this is another one of those Olympic games that I just would rather stay up late and watch it live or record what I want to watch and watch it later versus watching everything on tape delay at night. I hate watching tape delays. It makes me so angry. We're in 2026. Why are we tape delaying everything?
No idea, but they do it.
They do it I understand why they do it for the Olympics because prime time at the Olympic Games is like a huge thing. They get a bunch of viewers. But it's not really very sports centric because it's very much, hey, here's the story about this athlete. Here's the story about that athlete. I'm like, I know the stories. I just want to watch the games.
See, this game is also showing me why I'm not high on Diego Pavia.
Yeah, because I said at game speed it's not as great.
4th and 6, 51 yards. I know college kickers are not good from 40 and 50 this year, but please make a damn kick. Just get the 0 off the board. Make the kick, please. Oh my God! Thank you. Ah.
You know what? You know what I'm really excited about though this year because I'm finally gonna have access to it because I got free Peacock from my friend who had it through McDonald's, and I have NBCSN. Yeah, it was the Monopoly stuff. And I have NBCSN on YouTube TV. I'm so excited for Gold Zone, dude. 8 p.m. Eastern every day. Scott Hansen doing Olympics stuff. Like taking NFL Red Zone and doing it with like him and a bunch of other of these NFL Network guys who have done it. It's going to be amazing, dude. It's going to be so good. The energy, like taking NFL Red Zone and putting it for the Olympics is so smart, and I finally get a chance to watch it this year. It's going to be fantastic, dude. I'm so excited to watch it. I am stoked to watch Gold Zone this year. Like, I cannot wait, dude. It's going to be amazing.
I hope. I mean, I hope with what they're doing for the Olympics this year, with all the kind of trials and tribulations that we've gone through, or that they've gone through to set this whole thing up, and ever since the whole bidding to just have this event, before we even thought about constructing places and getting the teams assembled and whatnot,
which they always do for the Olympics, which is stupid.
Like it's like I just really hope that for all the questionable things that have gone on with the behind the scenes stuff with this Olympics, I just hope everything goes smoothly and we just get a good product out of it. Like,
yeah, just give me a fun 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Just give me a fun 2 weeks. That's what I ask every time. Give me a fun 2 weeks. Because even with the LA Olympics, they're building stuff. But guess what? We're America. We know how to build things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in a big city like Los Angeles, where they always are building something.
And we're still getting flag football, right?
Yep. I'm determined to make us be there for flag football. We're gonna do flag football coverage for like 2 weeks.
I really hope we did. I mean, I know they probably. I don't know if they would allow it because it just wouldn't be fair, just to have just a bunch of NFL players on Team USA.
NFL players are going to be on it, but you do realize like Kyler Murray's going to play for Japan. The St. Brown brothers are going to play for Germany. It will be kind of similar to what hockey is for U.S. and Canada. There's a ton of NHLers on those teams, and there's some It's kind of like WBC would be a better example. USA has all the. It's going to be kind of like that.
Yeah,
but it's still going to be great.
I would still take the USA over anybody else though. There.
Well, you do remember what happened in the youth not flag football tournament, in the youth football No. Do you know what happened in the last World Championships? Do you remember what happened in the last World Championships for in actual football for USA? Because we talked about this. Do you remember? We lost to Canada and Australia by a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we actually got embarrassed. Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
but that wasn't NFL players. That was just
it was like random 18-year-old college. Like
this is different. Like the U.S. should smoke everybody.
Rob, what did I miss that you were trying to say before I had to leave?
No. We were just talking about the Olympics and how excited we are about the Olympic Games.
No, before that.
Oh no, just I wanted to talk about the Adolfo Mensa firing.
Yes, thank you.
That I know. So here's the deal with the firing, right?
Yes.
This was going to happen 3 months ago. It was basically done, based on what I heard. I'll actually pull up the Tom Pelissero clip on Rich Eisen that kind of summarizes everything.
Thank you.
Because he explained it really well, and
as he usually does.
And so I have to find it again.
Pringles, get out of that plastic bag.
Get out of the plastic bag.
Oh, for crying out loud. That's not what I meant for you to do.
Hi. Oh my god.
If you're going to be on camera, at least face them.
At least turn around.
Gosh, you almost did.
Yeah, this isn't Project Run Cat over here.
Okay, so here's what Tom Pelissero said about the Adolfo Mensa firing.
Yes, I'm listening.
What happened with the Vikings? What is going on?
This was something that there had been rumblings about within the league dating back months. They went through this season, which was frustrating on a lot of different levels. The ownership, as part of their normal course, had their postseason meetings and discussions about how exactly they move forward here. Clearly, the quarterback decision-making last offseason did not work, but it was a broader type of a conversation than that. They ultimately decided that this was not going to work in the aggregate moving forward, and so they made the decision to fire Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, who had been on the job for 4 seasons. They'd gone to the playoffs a couple of times, had not had the success yet in the playoffs. I talked to Kwesi on the sideline at the Senior Bowl 2 days ago. I even mentioned something to him because, quite frankly, I had called him a couple of weeks ago because I heard something might be happening. And he was like, well, if it is, you know more than me. In the end, they decided to make the move. It occurred today. No other personnel changes in the organization at this time. Rob Brzezinski, he is now going to run all their operations through the NFL draft. I would anticipate that he will lean on the scouts and the coaches. Rob's background is in salary cap and operations. He'll lean on those football people within the building, and then they intend to run a general manager search after the draft.
It's tough to think.
So there's a few problems here. One is, why is he at the Senior Bowl if you were going to fire him anyway? Why is he scouting for you when he's at the Senior Bowl anyway? Who's there?
That's a good point.
And then two is, you are having an interim GM who is about salary cap and operations, not a football guy, and you're not going to hire a general manager till after the NFL draft? What is the GM's primary job? To draft players. Mm-hmm. The timing is awful. Despicably terrible. So guess what? The Vikings are going to be the most ill-prepared team going into the NFL draft.
And you know what's interesting?
Know what the hell they're doing.
You know what's interesting?
What? Go.
Is, excuse me, is a couple of things that I read indicated that they have made the fewest picks, or maybe made no picks, the last several years between between the 25th and 100th overall selections.
That's amazing. Yeah. It's just awful. It's awful how ill-prepared they're going to be this offseason to do anything.
You know what I wonder is if they bring in a personnel-only guy to work with this general manager, either in the interim or long-term. So I could think in like a John Dorsey type up in Denver, or I'm sorry, up in Detroit or something.
That would be my guess, but I have no idea. Brandon, this was absolutely stupid. We talked about the Bill Belichick thing earlier when we had the technical difficulties. Obviously, we're all pissed about that and Bill Polian and everything that Scoop said before. But this from a pure just hell on a football level, to see a team this unprepared for what's about to come the next few months, including this game that we're watching, it's unbelievable.
It's I don't understand how a professional organization in any sport can basically go into a draft process, into a long off season, and be like, or just basically go into it with the air of, oh, we're just gonna wing it. Like, I don't understand that. I just, you're gonna put that the guys that are on that roster, you're gonna put them in a tough spot because now they know that the draft probably isn't going to go well. You had a bad season last year, so you're probably having probably another bad season this year. So you're not. So now you're going to be stuck in the mud. And now, if this goes down to them, but it even affects Kevin O'Connell, who we think is a good coach, because especially when you're head coach, when a lot of times a GM will have correspondence with their coaching staff and be like, hey, who do you they look at them, who do you want for your roster? What do you want for your scheme? What works best for this team going forward? So you're having a whole new GM come in, an interim GM who has no idea how to do any of that. And now you're going to, basically have just, like we're saying, no clue about who to draft, when to draft them, what your positions of need are. It doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying that, listen, Adolfo Menso, not the best GM, but definitely to me a good GM in the league, in the better half of them, I believe.
Yeah.
And now you're going into this, I don't understand how you're basically bringing in, for all intents and purposes, you're basically bringing in a finance bro to be the GM of your organization for the time being, and it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand what they're going to do for next season, because now you're basically shooting yourself in the foot before the season even begins. Your season's already on the IR before it even starts.
But what makes it worse is I've never in my right mind thought, hey, once Ricky minicamp starts, then let's start interviewing general managers. What?
Yeah, like
what?
Well, that's why I thought it was so freaking stupid. And I have historically thought Ziggy Wilf is one of the better owners in the league. And if you remember, about a year or two ago, I think it was about a year into the Kevin O'Connell tenure, one of the things that we heard most about him wasn't just his being a quarterback whisperer. It was his being a culture setter. It was his, having turned around a lot of what was going on in Minnesota for the players and the executives. So either that wore out, or the memo did not get all the way up to frickin' Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah. But I'll say this. For the respect he had and that was had for him over in Cleveland, if I were them, I would have every executive in Cleveland calling him right now.
No, I would agree. You know what's funny? I think this is easily one of the stupidest weeks of the offseason, and we're not even in the offseason. As we talked about earlier, Bill Belichick not being in the Hall of Fame, which we all know our thoughts on that. Sorry that we missed that with the technical difficulties, but we all know how stupid that is. And then Minnesota doing this. This is technically an off-season week with the Senior Bowl and everything. Nothing's going to get stupider than this, and we haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl week yet. There's no way anything's going to get stupider than this.
Rob. Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Kevin Stefanski was fired. John Harbaugh left the Ravens. Mike Tomlin left the Steelers. I'm willing to say I don't think there was a dumber move in the NFL that's happened so far than Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah being fired.
Exactly. Then Bill Belichick is awful, but again, we're talking that's more long term, that's more legacy stuff. For what's happening currently in the NFL.
We also know he's almost inevitably going to get in next year.
Yeah.
So we know
he's going to get in at some point.
We know at some point the right's going to be wrong here. There's no wronging. I mean, there's no righting this wrong.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about basically how this punishes Kevin O'Connell going forward, because now this basically sets him up for failure for next year, and it sets him up to be fired. So now he might be the one.
Well, because there's three ways that I see this potentially being able to go. First of all, if I'm Ziggy Wilf, I'm putting Kevin O'Connell in the conversation for who I'm hiring at GM.
Yep.
Because otherwise, you know how these GMs are. He's going to want his own head coach within the next 18 to 24 months if he doesn't come in having been, in lockstep with him. Excuse me, sorry. Or they don't do that, and again, and that process comes in, or they try to make it work, and both of them are out within the next 2 years, and they are completely screwed at that point. So they've got to have to navigate this very carefully, because the Vikings, for a while, if you remember, we just talked about the NFLPA report cards that they're not doing this year, but we talked about those the other day on WTS.
They might do them, but I don't think they can because of the legal stuff. Anyway, I wish they could.
Well, the point that I was making is that one organization that is at or near the top every single year, if you read those on an annual basis, the Minnesota Vikings. I would be very curious to see what happens now, because, the Vikings. I can argue the Vikings are one of they kind of have become the Jeff Fisher Rams a little bit, where they never are terrible, but they're never as good as they should be.
Yeah, at least in the tail end of Jeff Fisher.
And then when they are somewhat good, they're fool's gold, because then they collapse.
Well, that's my point. They had that one that one season a few years ago where they were 8-1 in one-score games.
Yeah.
Well, and by the way, keep in mind, I said this on this show last week. I said the two biggest losers of the Super Bowl in the NFL is not the teams that lost in the AFC title game. I said it was Buffalo, and I said it was Minnesota. The Minnesota thing I hit right on the head. because I think the Sam Darnold going to the Super Bowl definitely had an impact here, right or wrong. I mean, I
think it'd be hard pressed to say that Kevin O'Connell didn't have some influence in Sam Darnold's turnaround into this year.
Oh, I would 100% agree with that. Oh, here we go. The national team's finally moving. It's 17-3 with a few minutes to go, so we're about to finish up here. But
I turned off that game so long ago. I'm not gonna lie.
It's fine. It hasn't been very good, unfortunately.
Well, that's my point. I've been following the score, but I haven't been physically watching it.
I'll be honest. The East-West Triangle ended up being much better than this, which I wasn't expecting. Regardless,
I love the fact that this game is finally getting somewhat interesting here late. Like, thank God. It shouldn't have taken 3.5 quarters, but it did. Whoa.
Yeah.
So you guys saw that video I sent, right? Of the. I mean, I know it's stupid, but that video of like the guys comparing Cam Newton to other quarterbacks, right?
No, I didn't see the whole thing. What was it? Oh my
God! Like, yeah, if you go into the FAH pod chat, it's these 8 or 7 or 8 guys, and they're saying, "Oh, take a shot every time you hear a quarterback's name that's better than Cam Newton." And
is it every quarterback that they say?
No. They almost didn't drink for any of them. They didn't drink for Eli. They didn't drink for Phillip Rivers. Well, at least not all. No, a couple of them did. But out of the 7, maybe 1 or 2 did. So they mostly didn't drink for Eli. They mostly didn't drink for Phillip Rivers. They mostly didn't drink for Russ. I'm like, if you guys you have to be trolling at that point. If you genuinely believe Cam is better than those 3 guys.
Honestly, it's trolling, or I'd be just too scared of getting drunk at that point. Honestly,
I mean, but the thing is, you know what you're doing when you play that kind of game. You know what you're doing.
But honestly, I do think it's trolling, though.
It has to be, because you know what's funny is like right as I was looking through the chat just to see if I missed anything, because I saw the chat pop up on my phone. And I saw that Adam responded, and I love his response to this. He said Cam Newton literally had one good season and is by all measures the biggest fluke season any player has had. I feel like because of how fun he was to watch that 1 year, people just disregard the rest of his career. Thank you. Cam Newton, I would say to the day I die, I don't care who gets offended by it. Cam Newton is the most overrated, not even overrated quarterback, overrated player in NFL history.
Yeah. I still think he should be in the Panthers Ring of Honor, but that's about it.
That's not a hard bar to clear.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing: saying you're the best player in an organization that's been around for 15 minutes, that
he's not the best player in the organization's history. That's
Julius Peppers.
Okay, you're proving my point. Saying you're one of the best players, but even if you are going to go and saying you're the best player in an organization that's been around for 15 minutes is way different than saying you're a great quarterback.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like when I saw that, I was like, no way, these guys think that Cam is better than Russ, Eli, Phillip Rivers. I'm like, oh my God, please don't even make Cam anymore if you believe that.
Cam is better. Cam could lose to Russell Wilson now.
Yes, because he's shown the ability to be able to do that.
I didn't like that Cam Newton went out there and said, I'm actually better than some of the 32 starters. I'm like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
See, here's the thing. If you have to tell me you're better than one of these guys, that already proves to me you're not better than one of those guys. Because if you were, you'd be on the damn field showing it.
Oh yeah, and I think it's too like it was crazy. Like even because I would even say this too. It took me a second. I didn't openly agree when they said this quarterback's name, but I do agree with it after I thought about it. It was like 30 seconds after they said it. I was like,
ow.
They said Matt Ryan, and nobody drank. I'm like, Matt Ryan's a better quarterback than Cam Newton.
Matt Ryan was actually productive in a Super Bowl.
Yeah. And everybody's like, "Oh, well, Matt Ryan didn't blow."
I was gonna say Matt Ryan's not the reason they gave up 28 points.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not the reason at all. He had a great game.
Yeah, Matt Ryan actually played well. His defense sucked, and you can blame for that Dan Quinn, that moron. So,
who is now? He's still the head coach in Washington, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the idiot who kept Jaden Daniels in there to fucking die.
He's the next one that's gonna be fired. I guarantee you. If they have another bad season, he's gone.
How did that team go? I don't think we're going to say this about the Patriots next year because I actually think they're going to improve their roster. There's no reason Washington shouldn't have been a playoff team this year. None.
It's because they basically ran back the same roster plus Laramie Tunsil. That's all they did. They ran back the same old roster.
I remember thinking that Dan Quinn should have been one of the guys fired this offseason. I mean, frankly, I would have fired him just for what he did with Jaden Daniels that game. But
he was much closer to being fired. I think Scoop, you might have saw this as one, not just me. He was much closer to being fired than we thought. I think, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, again, you're never gonna, if someone's not fired, you're never gonna know how close they were to being fired. But like in my opinion, like this is just my opinion. This is kind of similar to how I feel about the Hall of Fame. If you in the Hall of Fame, if I'm hesitant to vote for you, that's a no automatically. Where like in the NFL, when it comes, or any sport when it comes to coaching, if I'm contemplating firing you, I should fire you, because it should. If you're really meant to be my coach, I shouldn't have a serious debate in my head of whether you're meant to be my coach.
Yeah, that is
fair. Over the last 5 years, the Rams have never seriously considered firing Sean McVay. The Chiefs have never seriously considered firing Andy Reid. Because
they would be stupid to do that.
Think of another. I mean, the only one that I probably would disagree with, the 49ers have probably never been seriously considering firing Kyle Shanahan. I disagree with that, but that's You know what's funny? Ironically, you prove the point of why Adolfo Mensa shouldn't have been fired as GM. There's no hesitation for me to not keep him around. That's my point. Is there's got to be it's like, well, how do we say it on the field, right? The call on the field stands unless I have irrevertible evidence to the contrary.
Indisputable evidence. Yeah.
So unless I have an indisputable case to fire you, why should I let you go?
Well, but that's the thing. But that's the other part that I'm very curious about with the Vikings. Is like, was he just such a bad guy to have in the room that you had to fire him? Because that's what it came down to. He just didn't align with anybody in the organization.
Can I put my tinfoil hat on my big ass head for a second?
Yes, please.
I personally believe that at some point this year there was a what do you call it? There was a I can't think to say.
Where are you going?
No. There was a rift between Brian Flores and Kwesi Adofo-Mensah, because Brian Flores is known to have an abrasive personality. He's made enemies every stop he's been at, and because again, look at this a couple weeks ago. Somebody else left the Minnesota Vikings who was highly respected, Mike Pettin, and he said that there's going to be other heads that are going to roll because of it. And I believe that they want so badly to not lose Brian Flores that they were fine to lose Mike Pettin, and I guess I'm willing to bet that this was another person involved in that. Maybe not the same exact thing, but I'm willing to bet this was another head that rolled as a long-term consequence of that. Because I know for a fact that Mike Pettin's departure was directly tied to that, and I'm willing to bet this was another example.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't disagree with you at all. I really don't. I don't even think that's a tinfoil thing. I think it's pretty accurate, because because the thing that we heard is that there was rifts everywhere with him. So so it's like I don't disagree with that thought at all. I don't even think it's a tinfoil thing. I think you're right on the money there.
Yeah. Well, it's also because think of this. What's his backstory been, right? He was in Minnesota. We know that there's been something going on there. He was in Pittsburgh. He left there after 1 year. We know that there was some stuff going on there. There was the Miami Dolphins.
Flores, correct? With Flores,
yeah,
correct.
There was the Miami Dolphins. We know how that blew up. And where was he for his whole career before that? The New England Patriots. Nobody had a big voice in that situation because everything was run defensively by Belichick. So pretty much, if you tried to, have a situation like that, and you had Josh McDaniels over there. They were big personalities over there, but everybody knew who the boss was, and it was going to be Belichick. So, I don't know. It's how they say shit flows downhill.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Adofo-Mensah before we go, Brandon? Anything else?
You know what I'm thinking of too, and this brings me back just to the Brian Flores side of things is, there's people in the comments I keep saying, like, as the offseason starts, like, why is he not getting head coaching looks? Why is he not getting hired for head coaching jobs? Like, if that's true, which it's a very good possibility that it probably is, that it was very much a Flores or Mensah situation, that it was like, either he goes or I go kind of thing, and I just can't. People keep saying, well, it's a myth. Like I saw people saying, it's a myth that he's bad in interviews. No, I don't think so. Not if this is the case. I think that, and remember, word travels fast. So if he's burning all these bridges, the interview process might not even matter at that point. Like, people are starting to say, like, he's being blackballed by the owners and whatnot. Not if his ego is that bad, like everyone is saying it is.
Oh, I forgot to mention the lawsuits. I forgot to mention that part as well.
Yes.
So he didn't make any friends there. Nope. And also, let's also not forget this.
I didn't disagree with the lawsuits because we're still having this issue today with coaches. I didn't disagree with it.
Well, here, I'll add this. This has nothing to do with the lawsuits, but the Commanders interviewed Flores for a defensive assistant job. He didn't get that. The Steelers interviewed him this offseason for the defensive coordinator or the head coaching job. Excuse me. He didn't get that. So I'm sorry, if you're interviewing for this many jobs and not getting them in the same offseason, I struggle to think that it's entirely on the teams.
You know what's crazy too? Like the one thing that blows my mind too is I saw people immediately when the Steelers thing went south. Mm-hmm. People were starting to cry, racism. Are you kidding me? Look who the last head coach was. It's Mike Tomlin. So
who was the champion for the Rooney Rule? Because the Steelers are the champion for the Rooney Rule.
Like what do you like?
Yeah. Also, can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Because I know, because you just kind of made an allusion to that with what you were saying before. We're still having this issue today. I'm sorry, but I'm looking at these interviews and seeing some of these interview processes, and the amount of times I see somebody interviewed, and I'm thinking to myself, we know who's going to get this. Like, for example, we knew from the jump that Matt Ryan is going to get this job.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, right?
A lot of it is farce. A lot of it is farce.
Yeah. How shitty must it feel to interview for a job in the NFL that you know is going to go to somebody else and just think I'm literally just getting interviewed to check a box? That I think would feel worse than not getting an interview at all.
I agree, and that is part of the issue. But and again, I'm telling you, a lot of these like formal interviews where Matt Ryan was totally going to get the job, they're interviewing based on future considerations for these guys as well. Like the interviews are not just being there to just be there, if that makes sense. But the Rooney Rule, the intentionality of the Rooney Rule has always been clear.
Yeah, I just think the implementation and the execution and practicality of it, I just think absolutely sucks.
Well, guess what? You took the words right out of my mouth. That's exactly the issue. And again, I said this on the show. I think I said it last week. I'm going to say it again before we go here. The fact that Mike Tomlin probably won't be in the room, the most important guy that champions the Rooney Rule, is awful. It's going to be a huge problem if he's not there, because he's the one guy that has championed this rule throughout the whole process. So it's really sad because him not being there is a big issue. Because he's the one guy that has been very clear about this rule not being good. And it is this is a problem that's getting worse and worse and worse. And you know what? It's not on us as young people to change it. It's on the owners. Because guess who's paying the checks? The owners are paying the checks. So there you go.
Football for one reason or another. It's crazy how we're even in the off season or getting into the off season, and we call this like our quote unquote goof off show. And it's like, and yet we're still bringing up problems that the NFL refuses. Like, they will address like literally the most minute things that don't make a difference to the game at all.
Like hip trap tackle?
Yeah, like something like that. But they'll, and then they'll focus on the tush push issues. But you won't focus on the Rooney Rule, actual rule changes that benefit the league, that benefit the players in the game. You won't focus on things that actually matter, but you'll focus on the little things that no one should care about. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Off what you said. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Rob. I didn't.
No. I'm just gonna say this really quick. The fact that we're a predominantly African American league and we don't have that many African American coaches is just in general asinine. Just as a baseline, it is asinine. It's really bad, and it needs to be changed. The fact that we don't have that, to me, is asinine. But go ahead, Scoop.
Well, no, it had nothing to do with with this specific topic. It was about an aside that Brandon made, so I don't want to interrupt us from this topic.
No. Please go ahead from there because we're about to end here shortly. Please go.
Just because you mentioned about other things that are comparatively small. I just thought it was hilarious the other day with that Athletic article that like 87% of the players said they shouldn't ban the play. I thought that was just such a great middle finger to the people who were voting to ban it.
Oh, the tush push? Yeah, I hear that.
I could care less if Sean Mannion, which shout out to the new OC, Sean Mannion. I wish I could care less if he keeps it in the playbook or not. But I just think that that's so interesting and so funny to me for teams like the Bills and Packers who were talking about player safety and all this other crap and then go ahead and use it half the time this past season, even more than we did.
Josh Allen had the most tush push TDs in the NFL this year, by the way.
I will say that I have problems with the tush push. That is not like my issue with it is that it's just like it feels like it is stoppable, but it feels like it's way too curved to the offense, even though statistically it's not entirely that way.
Yeah,
that to me is grounds to ban it. But see, if they just said that, then I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But the problem I had with it was, and this is why I hate it. The problem I have with it is the player safety aspect of it, which by the way, there is some merit to it from the defensive line side. I get that because we did have one injury.
I think it's more rule changing merit though. It's not that they're actually getting hurt on the play. It's more so that they're like you can push offensively, but you can't push defensively.
Well, yes, yeah. I agree.
Go for it. I don't care.
No, I agree. But again, the problem is like if you say, right, if they said as a whole, they're like, hey, and also the fact that it doesn't look like a football play also pisses me off. So I'm going to couple those two things together. The thing that they should have said, hey, this play, while statistically it doesn't favor the offense as much as it might seem, to us as coaches and as owners and as the conglomerate of the league, we feel like it doesn't help us defensively at all to have this play in the playbook. We rather have a QB sneak or something similar. Then I would have been like, okay, it's not the strongest argument, but I can get behind it. I can get behind where you're coming from.
Get behind it.
Yeah, I can get behind, even though it's not the strongest argument from a statistical basis, I can get behind that argument. Yeah. But I cannot get behind the argument that it's not a football player when I firmly believe that heck, if you're a running back and if you're a running back and you can get pushed by your offensive line, which to me is a football play,
Yeah.
then it's the same thing. So you can't go out there and say this is not a football play. You can't go out there and say it's a health and safety issue. It is to some degree. I'm not denying that there is pieces of it that is a health and safety issue, but you can't just immediately come out and say this is not a football play. This is a health and safety issue. If they came out and said, "Hey, we as defensive coordinators in particular think this disadvantages us to such a massive degree, even though statistically it doesn't," then I would have been way more on board with banning it in the first place. I think it should be banned because at this point I'm so tired of talking about it and it becoming such a discussion that we should just remove it anyway.
Yeah. But no, the only thing I was going to say is, even if I don't agree with the takes against it, that's fine. I think I think you can at least try and make valid takes about it. Even if I disagree with them, I think you can try and make valid takes about it. The issue that I would have is that if, let's say, Coach McDonald went out there and blasted about it and ran his mouth about it and whatever, and then went and ran it 12 times next season, that's where I have an issue about it. It's the fucking hypocrisy. I'm sorry.
But again, yeah, the hypocrisy is there. But what you have to understand, guys, is that, yeah, it is the coaches saying this. It is the coaches, but it's also the general managers and the owners.
I know.
The thing is, Joe Brady is the guy who calls the plays for Buffalo. He's not being hypocrite. He's not the one specific. Like here's the deal, guys. Even if this is with any business whatsoever, anything. Yeah. It doesn't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. You can disagree with a rule. You can disagree with a rule. You can disagree with a policy, whatever. But if it's allowed, and I can, in my opinion or in their opinion, skirt the rule and do it, then they're going to do it. It's open season. It does. So, I understand that you guys feel like it's a hypocrisy thing.
I just think it's a weird look to be up there as a head coach saying this rule puts players' health in jeopardy, and then going and saying, "Hey guys, I'm going to go put your health in jeopardy."
But guess what? I'm going to be honest. When you're playing 4 quarters of NFL football and you're trying to get to a Super Bowl, the only guys worried about health are the athletic trainers.
That is true. Too.
It's not anyone else. So again, if you are going to, I get the hypocrisy argument, but I also don't think that argument is fair, because if I was in any business whatsoever and I had a policy that I didn't like, but I could use it to my advantage, guess what? I'm going to use it to my advantage. I don't care.
You know what I'm thinking of when I think about this. I've gone back and forth on this so many times. Even throughout this specific season, I've gone back and forth on it. I've said most recently to ban it, but I think I've mostly said to ban it because I hate that now teams
didn't like it being used as a crutch, right?
Yeah, that teams are now using it as a crutch when they get to 3rd and short and 4th and short, and I don't like to see that. But that's part of it. That's what every team is doing with the tush push now. It's just a crutch situation. But the other arguments that I don't like, the arguments that they make against it, that it's a player's safety thing, when there is no data that says that
right. No, I have only seen 3 injuries based off the tush push, and they're all defensive, by the way.
And the thing is, part of the problem. Yeah. And the thing is, I remember the Giants, because they messed up actually running it, got their own players hurt offensively doing it. It's because they couldn't run the play correctly. It's not because they actually hurt somebody.
I mean, that's not the play's problem. That's as they say, that's a skill issue, man.
It's a personnel problem too. That's on your coaching staff and your players for being weak. But when I look at, so the health and safety argument to me is not an argument because there's no proof. You can't make an argument out of thin air.
The injuries. This is. I'll bring this up as well. This is the thing with the kickoff rule. The kickoff rule has been one of the most beautiful things the NFL has done for years, and people hate it because it's not as physical. And it's like, okay, what do you want the kickoff to be? Do you want it to be physical and all your players get hurt? or do you want it to actually be fun and entertaining?
And that's
so like,
and then that's yeah. But then that's also why I hate the other argument of saying, oh, it's not a football play, like with the tush push. We're talking about having physicality in the game. That's the most physical. I mean, it's not the fastest play in the game. That's the most physical play in the game. Every guy is hitting each other on the field at one time.
But that's the thing. I am a huge proponent because I believe this is how I grew up watching football. If a running back is running the ball and an offensive line pushes him forward,
yes,
you keep letting him go because to me that is football. You have to bring him down. I don't care if a guy's pulling you. Now, with the quarterback and with the tush push, the entire play is predicated on that, which I think is a problem because I think that it just isn't. I don't know how to frame it because I'm not saying it's not a football play. Yeah. I'm saying that my issue with it is like a play shouldn't be predicated on using that advantage. That should only really happen in the flow of a play.
Well,
that's not a flow of a play thing.
You know how I look at this, like, and I think that is a decent enough argument. But like throw the player safety stuff out the window because that's bullshit. Throw the not a football play thing out of the window. That to me, I mean, unless you're making that argument, then to me that's it's bullshit. But then
no. I'm not making. That's the thing. I want to be very careful about what I just said. I'm not saying that it's not a football play. Yeah. What I'm saying is that I like the pushing when it's a flow of a play thing. Yeah, when it's like, hey, I'm stuck. I'm going to push you forward. Not play starts. Oh, I'm immediately stuck. Like, let me push you. That's a little bit. That just skirts it to me. That's not the intention of pushing a guy forward.
And you know what else it is too is like people constantly say that, like I see people talking about this online all day too, to this day. It's like, oh, it's not aesthetically pleasing. Do you know how many broken plays there are in football that happen in a game that are not aesthetically pleasing?
What do you mean? Wait, whoa. Football, as much as I love football, to someone who isn't a football fan, football is not aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying that's the worst argument.
Go watch Project Runway.
Football is not aesthetically pleasing.
I
don't watch it because I'm aesthetically pleased.
So to me, there's only two options when it comes to this play. Either everybody votes to ban it and we move on, which is probably what's going to happen, or
the majority does, yeah.
Or if it stays, then you know what you have to do. Rules committee, let the defensive line get a push.
Yeah.
That's all you have to. That's all you have to change.
Like I said all year, I'd be perfectly fine. I'd be perfectly good with that. Go.
Yes, because you know why? I want to see both sides hitting each other like a battering ram, and I want to see who pushes through.
Yeah. Can you imagine watching a defensive tush push and freaking Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis?
Well, guess what, guys? You've just showcased the problem of why it should be banned. Huh? Because if you have both guys going like that, injuries. So then you ban it. But because what you are literally describing will cause concussions.
I don't think it'll cause. Right. I don't know if it will, because a concussion a lot of times is just poor technique. Like not making to
an extent, yeah.
Some hits to the head, are different. But when I see some guys get concussed, like a DB putting his head down and make a tackle, that's your fault.
That's your
bad technique.
And can I say something real quick?
Yeah, finish this up, Scoop.
As somebody, again, we've all watched football. I've watched football for 15 years, and that might be the shortest out of all of us. I hate to be this person. You're not going to get all injuries or even most injuries out of football. That's just not going to happen.
No. So,
I think not every element of the game can be uninjured. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, no, because then it becomes flag football. The one thing I will say, though, as someone who's done sports medicine, as someone who takes physical therapy, we do need to do a better job. And concussions, it's better because the helmets are better. And as I said on WTS, the helmets are getting better and better and better. They're going to continue
Well,
to get better.
You said they're going to update them again in 3 years, right?
Yeah, they're working on updating them again, at least in 3 years. We'll see if we see that in the NFL.
Bionicle football.
Yeah, but so it's that, and then we have to figure out something about the leg injuries, and the hip drop tackle is not fixing it. In fact, the hip drop tackle rule made it worse, in my opinion.
I'm just trying to think about, like, to me, everybody keeps talking about the concussions and whatnot, but like, this is the sport that it is. You can limit it as much as possible. You're not going to get rid of it.
But that's the thing. You're not going to get rid of injuries, but as we're seeing with the development of helmet tech, which is going to prevent concussions to as much as it can, that still is at. I'm gonna be real, guys. That tech is still very much at its infancy. Like, we're gonna see that develop more in the next 10 to 15 years. So, like, that's also part of it. Is we're at a place now where back in the late 2000s, we understood what CTE was. We figured out we understood it. Now, when we hit college, we're talking about us, our age. I did a project on helmet tech in college. Talking about just because they were like, hey, write an article about something you're passionate about that's interesting. So I wrote about helmet tech. And what you realize with helmet tech is that it's still very much at its infancy. Like, football is going to look different in 2035 than it does now in terms of helmet tech. But again, that's the other part is I wonder what they're going to do with ACLs and stuff, because the recovery time for an ACL injury is also becoming faster. It's going to be interesting.
You know what I'm trying to think about, though, when it comes to, like, because an ACL is a non-contact injury, is that's something that I'm just like, how are you going to stop that? Because guys are moving at full speed. And the thing is, the more you use your legs and the more physical you are at using your legs, the more chances there are for that injury. So, like,
the thing is, and this is the important distinction, because I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to any of this, right? I'm not a sports medicine person, but that's the thing. Injuries are never, when it's human to human contact, injuries are never going to be stopped. But the goal is to mitigate it. And as technology gets better, because I think we're still at some level of infancy in terms of how we detect injuries and all these different things. Not detect it, but medicine is going to improve, right? Recovery times, all these things are going to improve in our lifetimes. So the point is, like, we're not ever going to stop it, but the questions that I have from a sports medicine perspective is, even with an ACL, because I don't know that answer in terms of what that's going to look like, how that injury is going to change. Because even now, the recovery time for an ACL can be a lot faster, but the guy doesn't look the same the year after, because it's still, so how does that change? So it's more of a question with injuries as to what the future of technology and medicine is over the next 10 to 20 years. And then we can go even farther. We can look at things like cancer research and all of these other developments. And then what happened with COVID changed the medicine industry forever in terms of, pandemic preparedness. So everything that medicine does has a trickle-down effect. One thing that happens in medicine can affect another thing in medicine, both good and bad. So that's what I think is going to be interesting when we look at sports injuries across the board.
Can I add something onto that?
Yes.
Because we were just talking about non-contact injuries, and there's one thing I want to point out is one of the issues with non-contact injuries, or one of the issues with some of these, and quote-unquote taking out the physicality. The hell is physicality? Is
physicality
is just going, like, for example, let's say you're a corner, right? Because corners can't do anything anymore. If you're like going and like trying to go at a wide receiver, if you have to pull up short to try and make sure you don't hit a guy too hard because of physicality rules, you're, especially on some of those turfs. Sorry, Shane, you're like asking for a meniscal tear or an ACL thing or one thing or another.
That brings up another point. The turf study was so interesting that they did because they said that turf and grass makes no difference, which is so fascinating.
On that one set of data from this past year, yeah.
Yeah. So again, I want to see a lot more from that. So we're gonna see.
That's just not enough sample for me.
It's funny how we're talking about like concussions, injuries, the data stuff. It's like, and this is why we're saying that even with the helmet tech, how we're still in its infancy, there's still so much unknown out there.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff that feels. There's a lot of stuff that, at least to me, feels like it's in its infancy in terms of these discussions.
Like in my mind, I'm trying to figure out, because here's the thing. They talk about. And remember, we talk about how people, and this includes obviously athletes, how people's body compositions are different, and we talked about that way earlier in the show, and we were just spitballing because the game was on and it wasn't great, but to bring it back to that, we talk about like how different people's bodies bounce back from different injuries and whatnot, and so we talk about like these concussions and that kind of helmet.
Oh my God, Brandon, can I stop you really quick?
Yeah.
I have something. We talked about the body composition thing, but we talked about tennis as well earlier. Do you guys know what's going on with tennis with what they're doing? They literally know the optimal recovery for every athlete. All backed by data, everything. Optimal recovery, sleep, and a lot of this tech is in the NFL as well.
Oh yeah, I know about
also
sleep.
Yeah. So continue from there, but I just wanted to point that out too. And then the NFL is also doing AI data, virtual AI players with composition and everything, so they can really know now when guys have the potential to get hurt.
Like I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to think on like because there's plays where a running back, receiver, quarterback, though like. It's not so much like helmet to helmet contact or a big hit that's going to knock them out or hurt them or whatever. But a lot of times, especially we saw it this year, last year, a lot more. I remember Malik Neighbors had it happen to him. You catch the ball, you hit but you're like jumping really high. You can't control your body in the air. Your head smacks the ground. You're gonna I feel like no matter what kind of helmet tech you could come out with, at least right now, or at least in the next 10 years, I feel like that's not going to stop concussion. It's like you always see like motorcycle riders, and they wear like really good helmets, right? Like they'll fall off the bike, whatever, smack their head, concussion. NFL players smack their head, concussion. So it's like I don't know how much you can really try to.
I have no idea.
That's what I'm trying to think about.
You know what pissed me off? Did you guys see the amazing HIPAA violation we had in the NFL this week?
That was so random. No.
The Sean Payton did a massive HIPAA violation this week. It was really bad. He basically said to the media that, but this is I have no other information than this. Remember how Bo Nix broke a bone in that divisional round game? He literally said to the media that the doctor told them, this is true. The doctor said that the break was inevitable because of a pre-existing condition. As a head coach, you are not supposed to say that. Whoa. If it's not public information, you shouldn't say that because that's a HIPAA violation. And then Bo Nix was like, he shouldn't have said that. And then I realized, that's a HIPAA violation. You can't say that. If it's very clear that shouldn't be public information, you cannot come out and say that. That was really bad by Sean Payton. That was really bad.
I'm sorry, but Sean Payton, if he didn't win a Super Bowl 16 years ago, I don't think he'd have a job right now.
No,
he's made a lot of dumb moves over the past time that he's
that one's the dumbest because that's actually a HIPAA violation. That you can't divulge that crap.
But my point is just he's gotten away with some shit, or at least gotten passes for some shit the last few years that most coaches I don't think could have gotten away with so easily.
If something like that was never going to be public information, which I don't think it ever was going to, maybe it would have come out during training camp and Bo would have said something.
Yeah, it's one thing if the person says it themselves, it's one thing, but
yeah, like there's obviously there's injury reports and stuff, and it's not a HIPAA violation because you signed a contract saying, "Hey, I waive this thing because yeah." So you signed that, but if that specific thing didn't need to be public information, you didn't need to say that. Your quarterback should have said that.
I wonder how that's going to affect. I mean, just a little sidebar to that. I wonder how that's going to affect Bo going forward, though. If that's a pre-existing condition now, and now that he broke it, now has to recover from that. So now I'm like, how's that going to affect Bo going forward?
What I worry about more than that is, I feel like the relationship between him and Peyton is a little rocky he said that.
That's what I was going to say. Is does this affect his intention to want to be in Denver long term? That was what I thought.
And honestly, I mean that's disgusting. I mean, you cannot do that. You just can't.
And Peyton, we all knew. We all said, "Hey, well, when Bo goes to Denver, Sean Payton's there, like perfect situation." And now it's becoming a shitstorm.
I couldn't believe he said that, and I just had the thought of like, oh yeah, that's a HIPAA violation. That's even worse than I thought it was. Oh my god, like, geez, it was stupid. Yeah, so yeah, that was bad.
And you know what it is? If you ever hear, and then we were talking about how dumb Sean Payton sounds when he says things. If anybody ever watched him when he was doing some analyst stuff for Fox, he sounded dumb doing that stuff too.
Yep,
he was okay. I didn't think he was that bad.
Well, but it wasn't so much saying dumb stuff, but he didn't know when to close his mouth. He would overspeak, and it was like he would say something kind of stupid.
His play calls are 15 words at a time.
Yeah.
Anything else before we go, guys?
What was that? That was 3 hours.
3 hours and a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for a great season. Because I know we have a couple shows left, but this was kind of our celebration. So thank you, Scoop. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Shane. Thank you to our whole crew here at Millions and everyone else listening. If you guys have any words on the season, please feel free to do so. The floor is yours, man, because this is our celebration show.
Scoop, you want to take it first since you're the rookie of our group?
So like, I don't really understand the question though. Like,
do you have any thoughts about like the shows and what we did, or just this year?
How your first season with us went?
Oh, the whole year, guys. Yeah. Well, first off, I just want to say thanks for bringing me on. I definitely want to spend the quote unquote off season. Once we get that spinoff podcast going, maybe I'll be able to refine my ability to do the movie reviews for next year.
You definitely will. You definitely will. There's not even a question. Yeah.
But so I look forward to that. But it also, I mean, the football season. I always love football season to begin with, and it always gets me really excited. But it just was another level of things to look forward to, knowing that we were going to be coming on this show and talking about. Obviously our favorite teams, but also different games and things of that nature. It got me more interested in watching not just obviously my team, but also other teams. It got me more interested in keeping eyes on different players on whom I may not have had attention before. And it kind of just gave me a different perspective because also, again, we've talked about this before on this show and on WTS, but also just like, again, we kind of bounced off different things off each other from different vantage points. You know, we had one has a lot of football coaching experience. One's very good at kind of breaking down what he sees. You know, I come with the background of having studied data science and all of that. So it's just kind of cool to kind of be able to not only hear and share different experiences, but also how those experiences, as time went on, kind of started to affect how each of us thought. Like we saw like our own thoughts kind of being positively influenced by those of the people with whom we were speaking, which I thought was cool. And I think always, one of the great things about podcasting is it's a blend of sports and entertainment, right? So we always had a great blend of talking substantively and intellectually about our discussions, but also at the same time adding a good blend of entertainment to it, which was there was no shortage thereof this season, and I think it shows even more guys that we were able to make it so entertaining because the NFL games themselves didn't really do much of that for us. So I'm looking forward to it. And Obviously, Shane and Rob, good luck to your Hawks next week in the Super Bowl. And hey, three or 4 days ago, I'm going to say it because I didn't say it all show, but hey, 3 or 4 days ago, we started the Sean Mannion era. Let's go.
Yeah, Sean Mannion, baby. All right, Brandon, your reflections on a successful 2025.
Well, successful for your Seahawks, yes. Successful for our Philadelphia Eagles, no. But I will say this. I every year that we do this, every year we get better at doing this, and
By the way,
it's
year. How many years have you and I been doing this in total now?
This is the
your
third.
theory?
This is the third full one.
Wait, who are the originals on here?
The originals on the originals on here is it was the originals were me, Brandon, and Shane.
Oh, so you all started together? Okay, my bad.
But the thing is, Brandon and I technically started a lot longer because when we were
a little further back. Yeah.
So it's like I think it's more. With Shane and I think Shane and I started in 2019, so it's been a long while.
Yeah, you guys have done your own thing though. Like I think but as a more like structured thing, like when we did our internship thing back at the end of college, that was 22. So that was, but it was around this time in 22 that I joined you guys where you guys were already at, and as part of my internship. So really, this is almost 4 years to the day. Yeah, Duke, that's right.
What is that noise back there?
That was Duke barking at Daisy for some reason. Yeah, that was Duke barking at Daisy for some reason. So it wouldn't be a show.
This is year 3 for you and I.
Technically it's the third full year, but it's been 4 years that we've known each other. So
I'm getting so confused right now.
Yeah, so because we weren't really doing like a structured show when we had the internship going on. Rob was there longer and Shane was on there, and then I joined them because I just found them randomly through the school's website when we had Handshake.
Okay, so the very first people who were collaborating was Rob and Shane, and then they've
been best friends for years.
Well, that's the thing.
So Scoop, what ended? So Shane and I started our project in 2019. So May 31st of 2019 was our first year. But we were covering like just general sports, right? Like just sport, like what you do on WTS now, right? Like how I connect with all sports is with WTS. But then what happened is in 2022, I connected with Brandon specifically because of his Eagles pod that he did. Mm-hmm. Or was it 21? So he did like an Eagles pod, and then in 2022,
it was that fall, I think.
Yeah. So at the end
late
of
22.
At the end of the 21 NFL season. So by that point, I was basically leading like 1,000. I was leading like 1,000 interns through like our NFL. I'm not joking, Brandon. We had at least 1,000 people in there, right? At that place,
it was a lot, and by the end, the site couldn't handle it.
It was bad. Yeah, so they're out of business now. But it was at least 1,000 people. I was managing it by myself for at least, I think, 6 or 7 months. I took a job that didn't really go anywhere. It was kind of a mess. And so when I took that job, I left there.
I stayed for a little bit.
You stayed for a little bit. You left a couple months after me. And then I moved on to our previous employer before Millions by happenstance, actually, thanks to Dan Bespris, who's been a huge supporter of what we've done. We've supported what he's done for all these years. Mm-hmm. He's amazing. We love him so much. So actually, a reason I got to our previous employer was through fantasy hoops, actually, not even fantasy football. I know. And then through that, I was going to start my own show by myself. Then Shane came on. Then I recruited Brandon to come on. And then that's how we started us three doing it. was that, and then obviously Will came in the fold. He had to go, and then you came in, during the draft that previous time, and then became full time. But basically, for Brandon and I, this is year 3. And for Shane, I mean, we've been doing this since 2019, so it's been a long run of kind of jumping through all these different places. But yeah, Brandon, I mean, year 3 of basically a structured or semi-structured. This show's never actually structured, but
yeah, I knew when I joined way back when I was still in college when I was doing the internship, and you guys were there. The 3 of us and a couple others, and Will included because Will was there too. That we had just had good chemistry. So it was like we knew that, like we were the ones that were joining on every show. We were the ones that were there every week. We were the ones that were always, because a lot of people came and went in between, like not just with us, but they came and went in terms of just like, it was so many people that Rob was overseeing, and that and there was so many people that were just coming and going, like just leaving after.
And by the way, I apologize, Brandon. At the time when I started the internship, you had to do a lot of articles. I didn't have time for articles. Scoop, I did like 5 to 6 shows a week. First couple years.
What?
Yeah, I did post shows every week, so that was 3. I did another show with another buddy of ours from Texas, so that's 4. And then I did our 2 like regular NFL shows. So I did in college through COVID, so I had to postpone stuff because I had to get tested for COVID a few times, and I was sick. It was awful. So basically, Scoop, there was a period where I did 6 shows a week, like 4 to 6 shows a week. I had a job at the school, and I did schooling. So I literally basically had 3 jobs in that like small period, like of 4 months, in like that first year. I was doing, it was crazy.
And while you were overseeing the interns and stuff, which I was one of them at the time, I mean, because you already been with them for like what was it, a year and a half or so? I think that by the time I joined on for that internship,
I think so. Yeah.
So it was something like that. So like, I was putting in a lot of work. I was the one that just like I do now. Like I don't post a lot of stuff, but I will write all the art. Like I write a lot of my articles. I make sure I'm on time every week. I post, I get my art. Throughout a whole season, I'm writing like 20 articles in a season. So like
and you spearheaded a lot of our Substack stuff because you were like, I still want to write, and I was like, I'm going to give you a platform to make sure that you keep writing, because I know you love doing it.
I didn't want to lose the journalist in me. I didn't want to lose that part. Like even though my writing has kind of gone away from more. Duke, stop! What do you want to fight Daisy over? But my writing has gone away. It's not like I've gone away from journalism, but it's like my writing has been the way I wanted to do it. Like I don't like following the traditional, because to me traditional journalism is boring, and with the modern, how sports media is today and the modern landscape of it, it's just it's more important to still be factual, but also just to entertain rather than to just be straight up facts, article over. So like, because it just nobody wants an article that doesn't.
And by the way, that's what we did a lot at our previous employer, and we really didn't like it. It felt monotonous after a while.
That's a big part. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say that like changed the way that we did our show, and we liked the way we did our show. So like it was like, through the years we kind of like we all kind of came together from different spaces, but we all figured out, hey, just like Scoop, just like you were saying, like, we all have different perspectives. Shane had that different perspective of being a player and a coach. Rob was always the mediator of all our shows, so we were always used to Rob being like the spearhead of like, hey, he's gonna kick us off, we're gonna go from there. And then
because I'm the guy here who has no playing experience or none of this like deep knowledge that you guys have. So I was like, I always wanted to be an analyst guy, but then I started to gravitate towards more of the play-by-play, the moderation, because I was like, I really like doing this because I'm not the expert here. I just laying things out and letting you guys go.
Everybody had a thing that they were good at, like among the three of us,
like the point guard of the team.
Yeah, like we all had different things we were good at, Shane's the player coach, Rob's more the mediator, and the kind of the talking head of the group, and then like for me, like I came from a writing background, so I was like, I might not be able to articulate the things I want to say perfectly. I can write them better than I can ever speak them. But
you've gotten way better at that. I will say that.
But I think it's just also comfortable. It's me getting more comfortable being in front of a camera, like on my end, having a better microphone now, things like that, kind of gaining that confidence as I go. But I obviously came with the more I'm not going to give you a casual fan perspective, but I'm going to give you what people are saying, how I see the way the game is going and all that stuff. Duke, can you not do this right now? But I know why they're getting cranky, because they're getting hungry. But basically throughout this whole journey, and then to get to the end of this season, and for it to be, the way I like to phrase it is, this is our third year as starters. This is our fourth year in total, but it's our third year as a starter in this league. That's kind of how I look at it. So we're still young in the game, put it that way. And I just think that what we've done each year, taking a bigger and bigger leap, each go around, each season, and being able to still kind of keep up with the things that we want to do for ourselves, but also to bring that together to put this into a show like this is it's something different. Like you look at a lot of sports media people who do have shows kind of like this. Yes, they're all kind of from that same background. They're all either former players, or they're all just sports analysts, and that's it. They never played. But it's like, we have a former player / coach. We have a mediator. We have someone who talks more like a fan like me. We have an analytics guy in Scoop. We have all these different things where it's like there's something for everybody with each one of us.
Exactly. You kind of cover like zone defense, like you're covering all areas of the field.
Yeah, and that's how we've always. That's kind of how we always wanted it to be. It was that it's still ourselves.
What in the world was that noise?
He's barking at the chair. I don't know what he's doing. He's crazy. He's an old man. He's 10 and a half years old. He's gonna be 11 in June. So
that was Zune, not Zune. That was Duke again.
Yeah, it was Duke. Yeah, Duke. When Duke gets cranky, just like me, his voice goes up a couple octaves. But so he might do it again. Who knows? We'll see. But that's it's important that that was what we told our previous employer too, was we want to still be ourselves. We don't want it to be so stripped back and so basic that we're not having fun anymore.
Right.
So that was the whole thing with this. When we got to this point here, it was like, okay, we can be ourselves. We can do what we want to do. We can still bring our own flavor to it, and we can still give people good insight while doing it, rather than just like today, like we said today was our kind of our goof off episode. That's we have that one episode a year, Pro Bowl week, pretty much, where that's what it is. So it's like, if anybody's tuning into this for the first time, I'm sorry, this is the first impression we make, because this is
impression.
It's but you're like, the thing is, every show though, you're always gonna get
something like this. You're always going to get something like this, because one of the things that we do, and obviously we do pre-production stuff and whatever through text, but like, one of the things, I have a layout, but we just go. Like, I don't make you guys write stuff. You can take notes if you want. Like, part of why we do this show every year as kind of a celebration and us just kind of goofing off is because I do want people to kind of see our personalities just as people too. And so this one's kind of fun, where it's really not, most of our shows aren't very structured. This show is fun, and this is why I want it, because Brandon and I were sad when the Pro Bowl got moved to Tuesday, because we're like, we're not going to get to do this again. And I said, hey, let's do the Senior Bowl. I had an epiphany, let's do the Senior Bowl, because Brandon, for the 3 years or 4 years now that we've done this specific show, we love it so much because it's just it's so off the cuff and stupid, and it really allows us to just have fun.
And we're always breaking some sort of news during it, like whether it's basketball, baseball, whatever it is. So it's like we always have something. It's crazy how we seem to be also between What's the Scoop and then FAH with this is like it's crazy how we seem to be like the shows where it's like every time before or really right as we're going on, there is news breaking. Like we are right on it every time.
And by the way, that is also a huge reason why I have been very, very clear from the start of the show that I wanted to do shows after games.
Yeah.
Because after games, I get that. I get it, man. Like for 22 some odd weeks, we are exhausted. We are battered. On Sundays in particular, we're exhausted. We're battered. It's been a long day. To me, that gives us the best content because we're just loosey-goosey and weird. But again, it also just creates immediate reaction, thoughts. Yeah. It just, to me, I've always been a big proponent of Thursday, Sunday, Monday nights. Let's go. I'm not going to do any other day.
Yeah, and I think that's great to do like the immediate reaction thing because sports moves so fast that it's like we say on Thursday, like with WTS. I mean, how many times? I mean, I feel it literally is like every week that whatever I came up with to talk about on Tuesday or Wednesday, the agenda on Thursday is totally different. And
yeah.
Like you said with us, like how many times did we come on the show this year and either Rob or Brandon or myself or a combination thereof, or Shane doesn't really get heated about much, I don't think, but like one of us or a combination thereof were heated about something because it had just happened because the game's just ended. Like you wouldn't get that same sort of fire if it was done the next day or 2 days.
Like the Monday morning quarterback stuff when they all kind of let the reactions kind of settle down and
that's not as interesting.
Yeah,
it's not.
The only time we do it is the Super Bowl because I'm thinking, hey, everyone's at a party and it's like basically a holiday. That's the only time we do it the day after. But that's it. And the thing is, with the Super Bowl in particular, we're hot about the Super Bowl for 6 months. So it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, that's why, like, I get it. Like, I feel it where we're battered, we're tired, we're exhausted. But to me, I think it's just the best way to approach it. Because if we're like this, we're giving you kind of our authentic selves in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And I
personally don't feel like I'm that different this week than I am any other week. But
yeah. Well, we're not different. It's just more so. It's like it's even more relaxed than what we normally do.
It's like this is what we would be talking about if we didn't have an agenda type thing.
Pretty much.
That's the entire point of this show. That's the entire point.
And it's funny, we still covered a lot of football, even in the 3 hours. We still about an hour of the show was still spent on football in some capacity.
Right. Well, that's what was funny is we started out with like this with this being called like the Senior Bowl celebration or whatever the hell we called it, and then we spent like an hour and a half going to I don't even freaking remember what we were talking about, but we weren't even talking about sports, I don't think. And then
that's the intention of this show.
And then we brought it back to football, and then now we're ending up here. Like, it's just so funny to me how, like, the Senior Bowl celebration ended up, half of it was not even about sports in general, which I thought was cool.
I mean, that's, as Brandon knows, that's always been our goal with this show, and that's why we love it, because it really is a celebration. It's just us shooting the shit for hours.
Good. And it's good to bring it back. It's good to bring things back full circle to where you just started, from. So it's like, we start out with the Senior Bowl. We end up coming back and we slowly brought it back to football. Like everything that we were talking about in some way, though, you can kind of tie it back to football. Yeah, so it's just like it's the 1 year. Like I think about this season too, and how much we all grew throughout it. Like we talked about that in previous years, but I think having 4 people on most nights, when you get because 3 perspectives is one thing, but it feels like if you had 5 or 6 people, it feels like it's too much. 3 after a while feels a little bit stale because you're getting the same things over and over again. But when you get the 4 of us, I feel like it just feels like that's the sweet spot. And we had that for a time when we had Will on, but it was like things still, it felt like something was missing, and we didn't really know where it was going to go once we kind of shook things up a little bit, and once we kind of figured out, hey, what's the content going to look like going forward, and like this past off season, so not the one we're going into, but the past one, it was like, we kept thinking about it for a while, like, where do we really go from where we were? And we were like, okay, well, we're on a bigger platform now, yeah, but what do we do different that we haven't done other years? And it was like other years, it felt like we were really kind of a little bit more buttoned up, but not buttoned up to where it's like professional, buttoned up to the point where it's like we just didn't feel like ourselves, I guess. Like, it still came through in what we were talking about, but it just felt like this was like the first true year where every show felt like we were giving our best in terms of what we were talking about, but it was still us all the time.
Yeah. And honestly, bringing you on Scoop full time was huge for us, I think, because we felt like, okay, like we have the proper mix now.
Yeah.
In a way that was, so bringing you on, I think was huge. And then obviously having Adam as well part-time to kind of bounce things off of.
Right.
But
and
no, like
I would very much say the same for you joining on WTS as well. And and also you talked about, the kind of breaking stories and whatnot on, every show. I mean, I would say that the Paul George getting busted for PEDs, I would say that qualifies.
Yeah, we didn't get a chance to talk about that. I'm just mad about it, really. That's all I gotta say. I'm just pissed.
I just think it was so dumb. Like, that's as a veteran and what I think was a well-respected high basketball IQ player.
He's not that well respected. He's not that well respected anymore. I'm going to be honest. And it's not even the PEDs thing. And again, the PEDs thing, like, hey, get your stuff cleared. Look, everyone struggles with stuff mentally. Like, get your stuff cleared.
Right. His attitude is just soured over the years. Like, for some reason,
it's really soured, and a lot of it is the environment with LA and Philly, where he's just not playing. Like, I mean, he is playing. Like, he's actually played a good bit this year, but it's like the expectations for him has soured. But this kind of felt like, to me overall, with the PEDs thing. We've gone way longer than I thought we would, but it's fine.
We're almost at 4 hours now.
It's fine. It's fine. This is what the show is. Anyway, so the thing with the PEDs thing with Paul George is, I hate to say it, but I just wasn't really that surprised. And again, it's very clear that he wasn't intentionally doing it at all. And so that's fine. Like, I can respect that, but I also can't respect the fact that you, as with guys like Joel Embiid and a lot of what's going on in Philly in general.
Forgot about that.
Right. Like, Joel's actually doing really well right now, impressively. That whole roster is doing pretty good. They're a lot more competitive than I think we thought they would be at this point in the year. But again, like, the thing with Philly is, and this is the core of what's happening in Philly right now, is Philly doesn't really care about Embiid and Paul George. They care about VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey.
Yeah.
Because that's the future of that roster. And so this thing, as like, I feel sad for Paul George in a way, because it's like, I get it. People go through depression. People go through tough times. You need medication. I have depression meds as well. But you need to get that stuff cleared. Like, you got to be more responsible than that. And it is kind of a microcosm of how everyone has felt about Paul George. Sorry, I was too late on the last name there. But it's just like that's really what it is, I think, ultimately. It's like, I don't really feel that bad because he's a player. And I'll be honest, this Sixers team, even for how good they've been over the past month, I still cannot bear to watch them play basketball because I just don't know how healthy they're going to be in the playoffs. And maybe this helps Paul George get healthy in the postseason, but I have no idea. I don't. I have no idea.
Can I add something onto that?
Please, go ahead.
Okay. So they are, I think, the team and like we always talk about in different sports, how there's always a team that gets far more attention than they're on the field or on the court or on the ice or whatever play warrants. I feel like that's
Clippers as well. Clippers and Sixers, both.
I was going to say, but not only this year, I feel like that's been the Sixers for like a decade because.
By far, absolutely. Just
because again, last year they were horrible. The year before that, they lost to the Knicks in the first round. Then the previous 4 years they had lost in the conference semifinals, or it's 5 of 6 years, something like that. And then before that was when they were going through the whole process scam. So it wasn't a scam. It actually worked after 6 years, but whatever. Well, yeah, after 6 years, yeah. But my point in saying it that way was just the fact that everything that it was supposed to be, I'm sorry, for them to be that bad and have that many, draft picks and that many high picks and that much cap space and whatever, I don't think that their vision was to go to and lose the conference finals 5 out of 6 years.
Well, and that's what I think is so fascinating.
And make three times more noise off the court than on.
Oh, true. But I think what's so interesting is, and Brandon, I'll let you go after this. I think what's so interesting is the excitement for Maxey and VJ is through the roof, and it should be. They're both young, talented, really good players. They have a lot of potential left to go. And to me, when I watch them, I'm like, Paul George and Embiid actually hurts them more than it helps them in terms of what they're trying to do from a growth perspective. And I think you're going to see a lot of that with Paul George out for 25 games. And then who knows in the next, 5 or 6 days, Giannis could come into that fold. What does that look like? Potentially, we have no idea. But I just think in general, Philly has moved on to VJ and Maxey, and rightfully so, Brandon.
Yeah, I mean, you got to focus on the future, especially when you have you love when having veterans in the locker room and guys that can still kind of get the job done when they're called upon. But with Paul George being out now with the PED stuff and with just him just declining in his career, getting older, he's 35 years old.
Holy crap!
I can't believe he's that old already.
Me neither.
And by the way, Embiid is doing what he's done over the last month, literally on one leg. It's insane.
Yeah.
And you saying he's that old makes me feel old.
And Embiid's a weird case too, because Embiid, every time that we think he's just gonna fade off into the sunset or whatever, he comes back and just has a dominant run for 2 months. It's weird.
It is.
Embiid's always been good in spurts. It's crazy to think about it, because he really hasn't played a lot of games in his entire career. But when he does play, that's how good he is.
But he's always playing. Or I'm sorry, he's always talking when he's not playing. That's the annoying thing is he turns into Dylan Brooks when he's hurt.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Dylan, but I would say 2 bars below that. Yeah, but I didn't like what he said this offseason of he would have a much better career if he wasn't hurt all the time. It's dude, it's your job to get in shape and be ready to go. It's not anyone else's. So it just kind of pissed me off. I was like,
he pisses me off on a regular basis.
It's like the Zion thing, right? Where Zion's never in shape, and but when he's
But Zion's not flapping his gums like that.
Yeah. But it's
he's just never in shape is the issue.
No. He's just like Brandon says about. I can never remember the NFL player that you're talking about.
That's never Kelvin Benjamin.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Eddie Lacy.
And Eddie
It was Kelvin Benjamin that you said though. It was three.
Yeah. He's one Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end. Yeah.
that.
and he was a
it's
tight end for a bit.
But yeah, because
It's
that's how heavy he got. He wasn't supposed to be. So like, it's and then Eddie Lacy was like Jabba the Hutt in the backfield for the Packers, and somehow he got 2,000-yard seasons out of him. I don't know how.
Well, it was the first 2 years when he was healthy, and then he was okay with the Seahawks for a bit before he eventually flamed out.
Yeah, it's like
I don't recognize the name you said.
When I go, Eddie Lacy.
Lacy, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie Lacy. Okay.
Yeah. You should know he was an Alabama kid.
No, I know. All I heard was A, and then I heard the Hut. I was really confused.
Yeah, like I think about like where Paul George, because we all know Paul George will make the Hall of Fame when he's done playing. But
the NBA lets everybody in.
Yeah, but I'm saying like he does deserve to be in. But
yeah, I would say so. I mean, he was one of the last guys to really play effort on defense. So
that's what I'm saying. Like people, like a lot of people, because we're so far removed from the Indiana Pacers era. But for us to remember, like people forget. Not a lot of people, but there are some people that do, because they think about how much of a head case he is now, whatever, and all this stuff. I'm like, well, you forget that Pacers Paul George was a different animal. Pacers Paul George was special.
The thing is with these guys, this is the case in modern NBA. It's always one injury that changes the direction of your career. If he doesn't have that ACL tear in that USA exhibition, he has a different career. Yeah. If Kawhi doesn't have the knee issue he had in San Antonio, he has a different career.
And I think if he had retired after that second year in OKC before he ever went to LA, I think he would have been in the Hall of Fame already, or at least or at least under serious consideration, even though he wasn't even 30 yet.
It's like Paul George had such good numbers, even after he left Indy. But it's like, well, we know when he retires, the only team that'll probably retire his number is Indy. But
no, I think the Clippers might consider it. Maybe
he didn't.
They might
a lot there though.
They might just because
just because Ballmer loves them too much.
Well, and you also got to. They're not a team that goes to the finals. Like that's not a thing that they do. So you don't have to get that far in the playoffs to make an impact on them.
And the thing is, like team Hall of Fames are oversaturated too in basketball. Because I'm like, Paul George never played more than 56 games for the Clippers at any point except for 1 year, and that was 2 years ago.
Oh, so wait, that reminds me. I have a bigger Kawhi question. Yeah. What teams retire his number?
Spurs, yeah, because Raptors was what 1 year. It's not enough.
But the impact was so big. I think the Raptors are going to retire.
That's what I was thinking. He kind of had like a CC.
He was a god. Type. He was a god.
He had like a CC in Milwaukee Toronto. Type thing.
Yeah. He was a god for that 1 year.
Spurs. See, when I think about the Clippers, when I think about like Paul George, like I don't think of the first thing I think of when I think of Paul George or when I think of Kawhi is Pacers, Spurs. That's it.
See, when I think of Kawhi, I'll be honest, I do think of the Spurs, but right with them, I think of the Raptors.
I think of the Raptors.
Well, yeah, because what it meant for that city, and also for that huge shot he hit. What was it, over Embiid in the playoffs?
And then the last one I have. Hold on, I gotta think about this. Who retires Harden's number?
Rockets.
The Rockets do. Is that it?
OKC. By the time he blew up in OKC, it wasn't long enough.
Yeah. Maybe.
I'll tell you, I genuinely think it's going to be only the Rockets because not only because of that was like his only, or that's because pretty much his entire peak happened there, but because he completely set gasoline to every bridge that he took thereafter in every city.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a weird take here, and I'm not trying to piss you off, Brandon, but I think Kevin Durant's number 7 gets retired in Brooklyn.
It shouldn't get retired before Joe Johnson, though.
No, but I'm wondering if it does.
I think that Durant is probably the one that would deserve you from that era, just because. I mean, and Brandon knows this. You're literally and it sounds ridiculous, but it's true, and I mean, I think we all know this. If Kevin Durant had a smaller foot, the Nets probably win the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
Sure. I will say Kevin Durant only has two places I know he's absolutely going to get retired, and that's OKC and Golden State.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that those are
like Durant. It's hard for me to like now. Durant was great in Brooklyn, but the problem is like with him and Kyrie, like they just didn't play enough. That's my thing. Is that when you don't play enough, like your numbers are going to look a lot better than what they did because you're only going to play 30 games a season. So
so here's my question then from a Brooklyn perspective. I apologize for interrupting, Brandon.
Yeah.
From the Paul Pierce trade era, starting from that trade on, who gets retired in Brooklyn? Does anybody?
Are you counting guys that are already there? That were already there in Brooklyn, after the trade?
Yeah.
So
I'm counting from the trade happening to now, who gets retired.
So it was so after that point. Nobody nobody was on the Nets before then.
Yeah.
So in the last, how many years is that? 12, 13 years?
12, 13 years.
So in that time, it should be Joe Johnson.
Right.
It's really tough after that.
Devin Williams, did he get
but Devin was there before. That's why I was asking. Yeah. I was saying, are you talking about before, or are you talking about when they were still there?
So Joe Johnson was still on the team by that point, right?
Joe Johnson, I think he came right around that. It was somewhere right around there.
Okay, I'll count Joe. Is that it?
Joe, to me, Joe. If you're talking about just from that point on, I think it's just Joe, because the rest of the Nets have been so terrible. Well, it should have been D'Lo. It should have been Karis LeVert. It should have been Jared Allen. It should have been those guys, but we're stupid. So it should have been those guys. It wasn't. So.
Well, I would say not Karis. I think Karis was still more rotational even at now. But I think
he was really good.
I think D'Lo and Allen definitely, but yeah. So you're telling me from the last 13 years of New York Nets basketball, or New Jersey, Jesus Christ, New Jersey Nets basketball. It's just Joe Johnson. That's it.
If you count from when I started watching, so me growing up, being when they were still in Jersey. Well, we forget about this because he's still playing, which is insane. I don't know why. It's our all-time leading scorer. It's Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez will go into the Nets easily.
Yeah, Brook Lopez will definitely go in. Yeah,
Brook Lopez is one of the best players in our team's history. And
no, but I all I'm thinking about is just after that trade.
Because the thing is, the Nets blew up so much of their future, and then they did it again so quickly, 4 or 5 years later. That it was they didn't get a chance to get anybody out of it. So it was you had Joe Johnson when they were still in Brooklyn, or not Brooklyn, when they just came to Brooklyn, I should say, because that's when they got Joe Johnson, because Joe Johnson never played in Jersey. So, after that trade was done and Joe Johnson was here, and he wasn't a result of that trade, but being, Joe Johnson, right. People always think about Joe Johnson as an Atlanta Hawk and how good he was there. And yes, he was really good there.
He was good in Brooklyn too.
But Joe Johnson was fantastic in Brooklyn. Joe Johnson is one of the reasons why, if it wasn't for him, I would not be following any Nets basketball the last 15 years, probably, because of how bad the team's been over the last decade and a half. Joe Johnson is what kept me in it, because Joe Johnson, his nickname even back to his Atlanta days was ISO Joe. But the amount of big shots, people talk about he was a great overall player in Atlanta. Yes, he was, but there was not in recent Nets history. There's only two guys who I want with the ball in their hands to end a game: Vince Carter and Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson was Mr. Big Shot every single game for the Nets.
100%. All right, last question for you, Scoop. If Zion gets traded on Thursday, is he in the Pelicans Ring of Honor?
I'm trying to think. Just because we're such a new team, And not only that, but like, I mean, you guys know that. I mean, we were the New Orleans Hornets, then the Charlotte Hornets took that name back, so we became the Pels. Because here's the thing: after CP3, and like you can make the case. I think that he's already a top 5 player in team history, even though he plays like 5 times a year. So it's like here. Do you mind if I pull up our like all-time stats real quick? I just want to just have the information in front of me.
Real quick. You know who's going into your guys' Ring of Honor though, and like before he even does, obviously it'll be Anthony Davis, and it'll be Brandon Ingram. He should.
I still.
Wait, do we think Brandon Ingram is going to the Pelicans Ring of Honor?
Did you not watch Brandon Ingram in New Orleans?
He was really good. I'm just debating it, but yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And I have to double check exactly what his numbers were, like career wise, but I think that there's a case to be made that what's his face? Shucks. Of course, now I'm short circuiting on the damn guy's name. We just traded him a couple of years ago. In the last couple of years,
I have no idea. You've traded too many people.
Yeah, that's entirely fair. Drew Holiday.
Yeah,
Drew might get in.
I could see it.
But so see. Here's the thing.
I think Drew is a Celtics Ring of Honor, even though he was there for a short time. That's how good he was in that championship run.
But here's the thing. Like, I think Zion. Here's how I would answer that. Right now, no. I think Zion is on the trajectory to get there, but I think he needs to play another season or two. And
for New Orleans.
Yeah.
And be somewhat healthy.
So your question being, if he gets traded on Thursday, I don't think so. I think there's a strong discussion about it, but I would say I don't think so, just because, again, what the three best guys in the organization's history, which again are CP3, Davis, and West, what they did for the organization is just so much above the others that I think it would just be, no disrespect to Zion, but I just think it would be disrespectful to those guys to include him.
All right.
And speaking of Chris Paul, we know he's going into New Orleans Hall and the Clippers Hall. We know he's going into Hall.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's so funny to me that it's like people talk about, guys who are synonymous with, a team or one thing or another, or guys who are considered like the face of a team. I'm surprised that more people don't realize just how much CP3 is at the top of almost everything in New Orleans history.
Oh yeah, because you know why? Our generation was a little bit too young when he left New Orleans.
Yeah, myself included.
Like I remember him from New Orleans. I started watching basketball when I was about 6 years old. So I remember him in New Orleans.
Yeah,
but but our generation just as a whole remembers him in LA.
Yeah, I started watching the NBA right after he got traded to the Clippers.
I will say one CP3 thing. He's going to be on a new team in the next few weeks, and I have the perfect team for him.
Going back to NOLA?
No, I know exactly where he's going because this team needs a guard badly, even a bench guard. And I don't think they're going to get one at the deadline. CP3 will be a Houston Rocket again.
Wow.
Because they need a point guard. They need some kind of point guard, and he would fit as a good bench point guard.
There you go. There he is. As a New Orleans Hornet.
Yeah. 2K. Is that 2K8? Right. That's 2K8. Right? Yeah. Yep. 2K8. Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I think my hot take is that he will be a Rocket, or he'll go back to OKC. But I don't think OKC has room for him. But yeah. All right. Anything else before we go, guys?
I don't get why he just won't retire.
I don't get either, but I think he wants one more shot at a ring. And I would.
He's got to hang it up. Unk don't got it anymore.
Well, here's the thing. He is retiring after the year.
Yeah, I know.
As long as he goes somewhere.
Yeah, but my God, it should not have been this long.
No.
It
Well,
shouldn't have been this long.
part of it is at like 38 years old, he was getting paid $50 million a year. He wasn't just going to let go of that money. Or like
My God, Chris Paul's been in the league so long. Like, does he need the money? It's Chris Paul.
If I offer you $50 million to play basketball and you're 36 years old, are you going to take it?
Probably, but
exactly.
At the same time, I also want to think about can my body handle it, and his can't. So
I don't care. I'm making $50 million. This is the NBA. I don't care.
Like, the thing is, too, I also think about, like, would I take it? Yeah, but then I also think about, hey, can my body handle it? And what will my legacy be like if I just keep taking, like,
who cares?
One-off deals?
Who cares? Because it wasn't a one-off deal. I'm talking about that big deal that Houston gave him that was on everybody's books for all those damn years.
Oh, yeah, that was stupid.
That's what I'm talking about. So if I'm getting paid that, I'm not quitting basketball until I'm done with that contract. And even then, I want one more shot. So,
well, it's funny. He was still good in Phoenix too, but then after Phoenix, he was cooked.
I got really interested, so I went to Basketball Reference, and they have you guys know about their Hall of Fame monitor
page in America. The best reference page in all of reference pages, by the way, is Basketball Reference.
True.
I do know about their Hall of Fame monitor.
So I went to see who they have as 100% locks of active players. It's LeBron, KD, CP3, Steph, James Harden, and that is it.
That's it?
That's wild. Who's below?
So within like the 99%-ish area is Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
AD,
he's going to get in.
Yeah.
It's Russell Westbrook, AD, Joker, Giannis, Damian Lillard.
Yeah, they're all getting in.
And then Paul George, they have at 98%. Kyrie, they have at 98%. Kawhi, they have at 92%. Kawhi, they have at 92%. Kyle Lowry, 86%.
Kyle Lowry's not getting in.
Draymond, 77%. Jimmy Butler, 76%. Clay, 73%.
Butler should be higher.
Clay is going to get in. Kyle Lowry, I have a tough one for.
Kevin Love, 68%. Joel Embiid, 66%. SGA, 64%. Jason Tatum.
SGA's getting in. Tatum's getting in. Embiid's getting in.
And then the only two others that are above 50 are Kat and DeMar DeRozan.
Kat and DeMar DeRozan, I would say no at the moment. But anyway, that's all I got. Anything else?
No, but then again, I thought I had nothing else an hour ago. So
yeah, it's true. All right. Well, for Brandon, for Scoop, for Shane, who unfortunately couldn't be here today, we'll see him tomorrow.
I was gonna ask you what time is tomorrow? Is the awards show?
I have no idea because we haven't decided yet.
Oh my God! All right,
I have no idea. We need to figure it out. I have no idea.
All right. Well, I'll see y'all sometime tomorrow.
Yeah, we still have no idea. I not that I meant to plan it last minute. It just kind of happened that way. Well, it's because I have the whole day free, so I don't really care.
I got
also, not only that, but you do literally everything organizing this show, so.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you asking, but this one's on you guys because we don't have any, like, there's nothing happening NFL wise tomorrow. Nothing. Unless something does happen.
That's what threw me off because I thought that we had NFL honors tomorrow. I'll say something real quick. For anybody who's watching or for either of you guys, go back to the COVIDism time and find the NFL honors intro with Keegan-Michael Key. That song is freaking hilarious.
Yeah. I stopped caring about NFL honors for two reasons. One, it's just like every other award show. And on the West Coast, it's on tape delay. So
you could move. But anyway.
Yeah, I could move.
Oh.
Well, here's the thing, Scoop. For you, in Mississippi, aren't you on Central Time Zone?
Yeah.
It's tape delayed for you too on Central. It's only live on East.
Yeah, well, I'm in New York right now.
Yeah, so I'm just saying. So,
but no, I know. But
yeah.
What was the thing I was going to say?
Screw tape delay. I hate tape delay.
Yeah, me too. I was going to say something, but I forget what it was. Oh well.
Nah. I understand. I understand why for the Olympics, but I hate it. Tomorrow? What?
Did you want me to bring my MVP thing tomorrow?
I mean, yeah, because that's our first category tomorrow.
No, but I mean my individual one that we didn't ever talk about on the main show.
Yes, because that's the purpose of tomorrow's show, Scoop.
But you told me I shouldn't say it if it wasn't one of the finalists.
Okay, no. You misread what I was saying. I said you have to pick one of the finalists for your actual pick, but you can say who you actually wanted it to be. As you can say that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Okay. So, and then for tomorrow, each of us individually are picking somebody that we would have voted for based on the list that's on there that we created.
No, if you had somebody different that isn't on the list, you can say it, but you have to vote for somebody on the list because it's
that's what I just asked.
Yeah,
that's what I just asked.
That's what I meant, Matt. That's what I meant. I apologize.
All right. So the answer is yes. All right. Cool.
Yeah. So basically, yeah. If you had somebody on the list that you wanted to vote for that isn't on the list, you can say that.
Yeah. But each of us are individually voting for people who are on that list that we created.
Yeah. So for our because we have our own individual awards that aren't part of the AP or Protector of the Year and those major ones. Yeah. The major ones we have to abide by AP guidelines because if we don't, we look stupid. Just straight up, we look like idiots. So we have to abide by that. For our own individual awards, I don't even give a crap. It doesn't matter. But for the AP awards and for Protector of the Year and that stuff, you have to abide by the nominations, or else you're going to be cursed out of a room in real AP. So you kind of have to. But you can say who you wanted anyway. You can do it tomorrow.
All right, yeah, I'll go and I'll make my choices tonight as to who I would pick on each of our lists.
Yeah, we have a really good list. I'm not going to spoil anything, but some of these awards that we picked, I'm struggling. The nominations that we did for our individual awards that we'd like to do, which if you're new to this show, you're going to find out what they are tomorrow because it's a pretty long list.
I'm gonna have a long night tonight voting on these
because some of our individual awards are actually really tough. They're not easy. Because that's how weird this year's been. The AP ones, I know who I'm going to take for each of them. Protector of the Year, I don't know yet. I have to really think about Protector of the Year. And by the way, you guys are going to love who's on the Protector of the Year panel. It's one of the best panels in human history for an award. But the AP awards, I already know I'm voting for all of them.
I have no freaking idea because I misunderstood the whole situation. So,
what you misunderstood that we had to pick AP guys?
No, I misunderstood the NFL awards, the list. I'll mention this off the air because I don't want to keep dragging the show along.
No. Tell me, I want to know what were you confused by?
Okay. I didn't realize that each of us individually were making a vote for each of the categories that we created. I thought that we came to the show and we for some reason I thought we made the votes then
as a group.
Oh,
yeah, I originally was going to do the first year we did this. I originally was going to do that, but I realized we're too opinionated and we don't have any central thought process. So basically,
that's part of one of the things I like about this show.
So basically, Scoop, here's how this works. Just for you all to know.
Thank you.
For someone to actually get the coveted award other than MVP, because MVP I'm giving it to two people. I'm just going to give it to them. I'm going to veto everybody and give it to them because they deserve it. But I have to because I think it'd be stupid not to honor both guys. So we are going to honor both guys. But
I wish you were making an actual vote in the AP.
I know. But that's kind of the point.
Decide.
But that's kind of the point, though. Is part of why I stick by AP guidelines is we have to show part of why we do this is I want to show the voters that we're better at voting than the actual voters, so we get put in to the AP voting because I think we would do a better job. But anyway, So basically how this works is if everyone or one of us has a different opinion than somebody else, they don't get the primary award. They just get the award for the actual person. But if we all collectively vote for the same guy...
You lost me.
Okay.
They don't get the primary award. They just get the award for the actual person. I'm lost.
Okay. So let me explain better. So we don't have a trophy. I wish we did.
Me too.
But if we had a trophy to give out to people, I would only give that trophy out to that person if we all agreed on who won the award.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
So, it does.
Yeah.
See, I have a very literal brain, as you know from the analytical stuff. So I was thinking you literally had something you were going to. I'm like, how are you going to give something to somebody?
I hope so, man. I wish we had an awards budget. Me
too. But that's where I was so confused. I'm like, what are these two different awards, and where'd you get them?
No, but again, so if individually we both pick somebody different, then it's like, okay, you actually don't deserve our primary group award. Minus MVP, because I'm giving it to two people and I don't care. They both deserve it.
Yeah, and it's not, and as we mentioned, my person was somebody else anyway.
Yeah, so it's like I want to give it to both of them because they both deserve recognition. That's basically it. But for every other award, I hope to God we have similar picks, because there's never been a year that we don't give out the actual full award. I'm scared this might actually be the year, so I'm a little concerned.
Wait, but back up again. Rewind. So, for which category are you talking about? There's never been a year that we don't all give out the same award. I'm confused.
For the award show, we've at max had a group agreement on an award at least 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I just realized we forgot 2 awards, and I'm pissed that we have to do.
Jesus. What are they?
We have to do best kicker and best punter.
We have to do best kicker?
Yeah, we have to pick best kicker and best punter.
That last 6 weeks, I think one of my legs would have been more effective than the ones that I was watching in the NFL.
I forgot that we have. I forgot that we have to do that. So we need to go do that really quick.
I know who I'm giving my best kicker.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Oh yeah, best kicker is. Oh my God, who? I'm blanking, but I think I know who it is. Best punter, I also think I know who it is. Anyway,
does your best kicker also wear black and gold?
Oh yeah, we know. Okay, I can just write it down. I know who it is. Best punter. Best.
Oh,
punter,
see, that wasn't who I thought he was going to say.
Oh Jesus Christ! Okay, we'll plan this off air because I forgot.
That's why I said that in the first place.
God damn it! Okay, this is why I'm scared. Are we going to give out any group awards?
I don't think so.
I don't think
because even with the 3 of us have been in lockstep, Scoop's the contrarian, so it's I don't think it's going to happen anyway.
Anyway, I forgot we have to do best kicker and best punter. But we'll make sure we do that before the show tomorrow, because I need to make a list because I forgot to do it. Anyway, that's a preview of our awards. We've went way over time, but who cares? This is what the show is.
We decide how long we go on, so. True.
Except I was intending to end right when the Senior Bowl ended, and we went another hour. But it's fine. Who cares?
So much for that.
So much for that. We'll see you tomorrow. For Brandon, for Scoop, for myself, Robert, and for Shane. Thank you guys for a wonderful 2025. We'll see you tomorrow for our awards show. Hopefully it's more entertaining than the actual NFL honors. Because, my God, that show is not entertaining at all. I apologize. It's not. All right. Peace out, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Peace.
Have a good night.
Peace.